said I'm a comment troll when I'm not on screen. This is racist.
Oh man. Come on, Vince, let's go, Vince. Let's go.
I mean, appreciate you keeping it, very. Oh,
we live, baby.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the new Blerd order. Vince is obviously having some internet difficulties. That's part of you.
I'm here. Listen. What we ain't gonna do is crash like I ain't really like my internet ain't working just because it ain't.
Just because it ain't, right?
Don't say nothing. Whoops. Welcome to the I am
echoing. I think some of the fun of the show is being able to not predict what's going to happen when you open it up. Is that not fun? No, not fun. Everybody, anybody? No, yes.
I feel like
anyway,
having a conversation.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome on a Saturday morning. We are running on CP time this morning, as you all know. I am your boy, the real Vince Taylor. Not lagging for now, but I might in a little bit. Give me time. And of course, we've got the homie Ty. Say what up, Ty.
What up, people? What's good?
Oh, we got the homie Yas. What up, Yas?
Hey guys, how we doing this morning?
Good morning, and we are here to do what we do. And we got Vince in the corner. All right. Anyway, look, we're here to do what we do every Saturday, man. Just discuss this WandaVision. I am very happy to be here. Let's talk about some of this stuff that we watched this week and some of the things that's going on. Welcome to the new Blerd order. Let's go ahead and do it.
This dude froze with his mouth open.
I know, right?
That is the video. I need to, oh man, I wish I could screenshot that right now, bro.
I know.
That is the meme. That is the meme, bro.
Yo, forget y'all, man.
Like that.
Vince, why you gotta be hating? We were just saying that was prime bliss real estate right there with that mouth open, like it was great.
So y'all just gonna roast me while I'm still in the room. I'm in the room.
Oh, this dude's got the echo. Yo,
we're real friends when we can talk shit and you can hear us. All right, we're real friends at that point.
How about that? We're going to work on it like this for now anyway, man. You know what? Since I'm not working appropriately, why don't I go ahead and get myself off of my own screen? Hey, Vince, why don't you take a break for a little bit? Hi. Yeah. Now, say what? All right, you know what? Since I'm taking up...
This is even worse.
Clearly this... Tyrone, like, what's going on? Pick up some of this space. Y'all sat and watched me like go through all of this trauma, trying to get all of this stuff working, and clearly the internet guys or the Apple guys or whatever just ain't in my favor. You know what I'm saying?
Just been over here roasting you in the comments and in the private comments. That's
totally
it.
In the comments?
Yeah, I was trying to find out if at the end of this episode, if we're going to get a fight between one Vince and another Vince to see who survives the altercation.
There can only be one.
This is a
stronger twin.
There can only be one, yo.
Yeah, that's instead of y'all helping me out, y'all just gonna sit there and roast me.
We did help you out. We asked if you restarted the computer and clicked it. We did.
Exactly.
What else are you supposed to do?
Advisement is the best form of help you can receive, my friend. Yep. It gets no better than that.
I mean, well, I honestly don't know what you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit pissed me the fuck off, man. Like, I'm like, yo, everything looks, well, you know what? In all honesty, today, everything didn't look exactly up to par. Well, look, I'm running on fumes. I'm trying to do the best I can. All right. So please.
You're doing a great job, Vince. You're doing
okay.
Can we just Give Vince a little bit of an applause right now.
No,
He's
absolutely
doing a great
not.
job.
Absolutely, y'all are really big
Oh,
in this
God, here we
thing.
go.
Absolutely.
Are we
not.
enablers now? Are we enablers?
Absolutely not.
That was just us all showing off that the camera can keep up with our hands.
Yeah.
That's all.
Look. Even his laugh. Look at his laugh. Look at his laugh. I'm loving it.
Oh my God.
Oh no, he's trying to go off,
I'm
y'all.
loving it. This reminds me of WandaVision.
I stuck. You can see me, right? Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah.
Okay, yo.
You're a
all right.
robot though.
Yo, all right. I was happy to be here, but not so much anymore. I'm very halfway happy to be here. Anyway, you still hear me at least, and even though I don't sound as dope because they might, I want to say I did watch WandaVision. Before we get into a lot of the stuff that I've got kind of set for today, we do definitely want to talk about later on. We're going to definitely speak about our good friends, our team, and everyone from Zamunda. But right now, guys, we want to go ahead and at the very least discuss our favorite on-screen black and white to color family, Wanda and Vision and Wiccan and Speed. All right, I want to say, first of all, welcome back, Patrice. It's good to see you. How art thou this morning?
I'm doing well. I'm finally awake, I feel like. So that's always good.
Did you get a chance to watch the episode? Did you see everything?
I did. Oh, but so much happened. I feel like I'm gonna have to watch again because just gems. Like a lot was going on.
Yeah.
I cried. I did cry a little bit, ain't gonna lie.
Oh, you did cry? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we are definitely going to spoil things. If you have been watching the show, then today we are definitely going to spoil it. If you haven't been watching, then you probably want to turn this off real quick, or just check us out later, or watch and then see what it is we talk about. But the fact of the matter is, this episode was supposed to be the season finale. And I don't know, Tyrone, I'm interested to hear what you think, but I want to go to you last because I'm pretty sure you got something positive to say. You typically kick us off with the real, man. What's really, really going on, man? How did you feel about this episode, man? Uh-oh. 100, man.
I'm gonna say I'm a little disappointed, but I think the reason that I'm so disappointed is because the thing about taking it slow is whenever you take it slow with somebody or take it slow with a situation, there's always like an expectation that's built to a culmination. So whenever that culmination happens, if it doesn't reach or exceed the expectation, there's a level of disappointment. So in this case, they took the slow route, and I listen to y'all every week, commend them, and I even did it sometimes myself, so I'm guilty as well. But after going through 20-minute episodes and just a long drawn out storyline to get to the ending culmination, and it didn't exceed or even reach my expectations as a finale.
But why though?
Because for this reason.
He's a hater.
No. I'm not a hater. I'm just being honest.
What?
At the end of the day, we had our first real view of spectral vision. Spectral vision, at this point, we're thinking that we all know there is going to be a face-off between spectral vision and real vision. That expectation was there. What we didn't get was a real battle between them. Like it was more like two kids going out and saying we want to fight, and then we just wrestle the whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're like, nobody gives ground, we just hugging. So it like, and then at the end, you're just like, you tired? Yeah, I'm tired. You tired? Yeah, I'm tired too. Fuck it. I'll see you next week. We'll do this again. Wow. Like that's kind of what I felt. And then when Monica, we didn't see Monica at all last week.
Right.
Then we see Monica. We're like, oh shit, we're about to see Monica go off.
Right.
And then we don't see Monica go off. We just see someone go through Monica, and then her eyes light up, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So when it came down to the opportunities to really give us that even with the Agnes and the Wanda fight,
What?
Right.
even that to a degree I felt was like under like that was like I was like, come on, like
that fight was pretty golden. I'm gonna disagree there.
well, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm just saying, like, to this, it's for me, my expectation by waiting this long to get to this point, and again, not exceeding or equaling my expectation, even though a lot of the stuff that we've said over the past weeks clearly has been wrong. I said that Doctor Strange was going to be in the finale. No Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying? Like we were waiting for this mysterious villain or somebody else to come along, and it never happened. So it was a lot of different things that I think my expectations and a lot of other people's expectations were raised because we expected more and we got what we got. So that's just my opinion.
Yasmin, come on.
Oh my God. Wow.
Tear 'em up.
I don't even know like where to begin on that whole synopsis of your thesis on how you felt about the show right now. I feel like I'm a kid in school right now and I need to beat the shit out of you right now. So
Yes.
I appreciate you. I hear you. You are I love.
You's important.
She over here therapy sessioning you.
Okay, so I got your take on it, but that definitely was not how I felt about it. Yo, the epic finale was, I thought it was fucking fire. No lie, I was hyped the whole time. Like from start to finish, I was ready for it. And no lie, I'm gonna agree with Patrice. I did shed a couple tears. No lie, at the end, that was that was definitely heartfelt. You know, the goodbye. You know, like, but I thought that shit was awesome. The fight between Agatha and Wanda was boss. No lie, like she got her ass good, and the way she beat her with the same exact enchantment spell that she originally used on her. I thought, no lie, I was like, okay, Marvel, I see you. Like that shit was dope. I thought I did not agree with you, Ty, whatsoever. I thought that shit was fire, and I loved how they completely, like, in the whole mix of her beating Agatha and her taking her power back from her, she became the fucking Scarlet Witch. I thought that was boss. Cool. No, I got so goddamn hyped. Like I was so like just excited. I was like, yes! And she looked boss.
When she got her bad bitch outfit though, that was my favorite part.
Let's just go into the detail that they literally took the normal Scarlet Witch and they fucking upgraded the shit out of her. And yo, no lie, I'm ready to see her in some other shit. I'm ready to see and like, you know, I'm just ready to see it. I'm ready to see the multiverse of madness. Like she's about to be even more boss that she's now learning all these powers. And then
she's about to level up.
And then Ty, the fight between the Visions, are you serious? That was a serious name drop into history. I think we need to go back on that and you need to look up what he was talking about. Okay, because I really feel like that shit is gonna make a lot of sense. Okay, they're talking about something that was old, remade, and brought back. So it's
moon.
Thank you. Like that was, I was like, oh shit. Like even my like, yo, we need to look into this shit. Like we need to.
Yes, I screenshotted it.
To go and watch this. I was like, yo, for real. I started researching.
I screenshotted it for research later.
Deep. That shit is deep as fuck, Ty. Like you gotta give it to Marvel for not only in like visually getting people engaged, but on a mental note, like they go back and like make sure that you understand history while you're fucking watching. So I'm sorry, I don't agree with how salt you feel this whole season finale and the season was, but start to finish, Marvel, tip my fucking hat off to you. I'm just even more like, giving me some more. I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm so ready. I'm hooked beyond belief, and I cannot wait to see Wanda in the future. Like for real, bro.
Damn, yo, I guess that means you liked it,
bruh. Yes.
Yo, all right. Well, Patrice has seen it. Tyrone, what's your take, my friend? I get the sense you are on the positive end of this whole analysis.
As usual, Vince, you are correct. I'm on the positive end for sure. Yeah, and I'm not going to argue against the prosecution just yet. I'll just do my opening arguments and focus on my case. But no, I think one of the things that after I watched the episode, I was thinking about, and I was like, damn, I spent this whole time like thinking about like how I want this to be a, X-Men fighting, the Avengers and Doctor Strange comes and Mephisto comes and, we talked all this time about what we wanted it to be, and what we really were getting was just a really, really, really great story,
right?
About this Wanda specifically, but about this couple, this family, and the people around them, and it was just done so well. I'm with Yaz. I thought that ending battles between both Visions, between Agatha and Wanda, were great. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, specifically getting some of those like wide angle, far away from the battle shots that we don't really get in a lot of the MCU movies. We get a lot of really like heavily edited stuff that looks great, but like we don't get those wide angles that we're used to, we grew up on watching in the cartoons and reading in the comics and stuff, the stuff that we like to see. I was speechless after that episode. I was like, wow, they really did this. They really told this great story and gave us a beautiful ending.
Oh, you thought the ending was beautiful?
I absolutely did. Yeah. I was struck by it. I was holding back my thug tear. I almost had the single one drop, and I don't know if I would have been able to recover from it, but
okay.
Yeah.
So which ending are you talking about though? Because I mean, we have a post-credit scene, all right, which we're not going to show completely. We have another post-credit scene where the Krill, which I believe was predicted last week.
Yep.
I forget who it was, but somebody predicted the Krill last week.
It's the Skrull.
The Skrull, excuse me. Krill. I'm not talking about Krill. Skrull. The Skrull last week. Somebody predicted that. I don't think it was Ty. I want to say
I think it was Ty. Yeah.
I think Ty, you predicted that, even though you hated it. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting over there looking with his Ty over there looking like a bad bitch right now. What's going on?
His eyebrows are so angry. Look at his eyebrows.
It's just because I understand all of y'all's like literally. I'm not saying that I hated anything. What I'm saying is I was disappointed, and the reason I was disappointed.
Like that's worse.
No, it's not. It's not worse. It's not worse because one is saying that I completely dislike the show, and if I completely dislike the show, then why would you even watch it? You know what I'm saying? My thing is that I'm more or less just disappointed with the fact that again, when you do slow relationships and you take it slow, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end, the culmination has to be far exceeding or at least equal to the expectation. Otherwise, there will be disappointment. I prefaced that statement before I said anything.
Yeah, let me translate. Let me translate for Ty. Ty thought the ass was gonna be bomb, but it was cold. All right, it was quick. It was very loose. You know what I'm saying?
I literally was about to say.
He done took her to the movies. He done introduced her to her parents. You know what I'm saying? He done said, "Yo, look,
I waited the whole 90 days." I waited the whole 90 days.
At the end of the night, all you get to do is punch. You don't get
the probationary period.
I waited my 90 days.
He did it on
y'all. See what's going on with you, bro. Like you just feel like it should have been more. You put so much more thought into what it could have been that you never stopped to think that it could be dope at what it should have and what it is.
I mean, like you're missing gems though. Like there's so many gems that
I didn't miss anything. No.
Y'all
are all getting me confused. I didn't miss anything.
What did you like?
I didn't miss anything. I saw the same show that y'all saw. It's not that I'm missing anything. It's that again, when you go slow and you get to that point, like my expectation, you built this up for us the whole season. Like we just saw last week at the end of the post-credit scene, we realized that we got a spectral vision. And then at this point, we know the next episode, we got Wanda looking at Agnes with little things tied around her kids. The expectations from that last week was like this. So
but I feel like they're setting the scene though. Like I feel like honestly, the direction they're trying to go in, it's a lot. I commend them for taking so much of this storyline and really condensing it. That's number one. So when you said slow, in my mind, I'm like, they cut a lot of things and changed up certain relationships just to get to this point. And then it's like they're hitting on like so many finite details to kind of set the scene for when they come back. So I kind of could appreciate the fact that they took a little bit of a detour from what we were expecting to give us something a little bit more. Like when we talk about the theory of the ship of Theseus, like I'm like, oh my god, that is like next level, like identity messages. What?
Thank you.
But it was just such a gem in that moment. So maybe they didn't like duke it out enough, but at the same time, for him to create like that moment of more sentience for his counterpart and kind of convince him of the fact that, you know, you're gonna live on as Vision through this experiment that no one else really knows about. It's in your head, it's tapped in. That gives us like a whole nother world to look forward to when it comes to the next season. That and the montage of her not being great. Huh?
There is no next season at this point.
Well, the idea is we're gonna hopefully get another season.
Yeah, it's for what you're right, Patrice. It's for what's to come, Ty. That's what you have to understand. Remember, like he not only made his counterpart understand that, like, you know, they're both Vision. You know what I'm saying? And they, like, you know, they both can survive in this world. So, and he altered how did you see his eyes come alive? Like he altered him to become him. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like,
yes,
it's on a next level of like the companionship and the way that they portray the, you know what I'm saying, how do I put this?
Patrice, she needs a word.
Camaraderie. Yeah, the humanity, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like just from like, you know, him being a machine, you know, and like and him having, you know, those feelings, you know what I'm saying? Like he was basically like just giving him an insight into his life of like with Wanda, with their children. You know what I'm saying? Like he gave them his whole life in that one touch and completely changed him. So
I agree. I think that was powerful. I mean, we look at the dichotomy of old Vision and what's going to become new Vision.
Right.
And we look at the way that they were kind of interacting, and he took him and kind of upgraded him. Like, let me go ahead and just tweak you real quick, upgrade your mental, put these memories, but also explain to you what's going on so you can tap into your own memories and be more than this you know, weapon that they're trying to turn you into. I was appreciative of that.
Yeah, well, I have a different take. I don't see this as old Vision versus new Vision. When I see it, it looks to me like white Vision versus colored Vision. And I don't know if I necessarily like the way they're depicting that, but originally we thought that this was going to be our gray Vision, right? But I guess they're going ahead and they're going with the white Vision, which is cool. You know, I ain't tripping. I think that one of the dopest parts for me, frankly, was when they were having their little brother struggle. You know what I'm saying? Y'all peep that? Like, it was like, yo, get over here, little bro. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. And then at one point in time, Vision hits him with the paradox. I mean, colored Vision hits him with the paradox. He's like, yo, well, if you're here to destroy the Vision, but you are the Vision, can
you really destroy
that's kind of, you know, and he's like, elaborate. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was very Data from Star Trek type. And I like that part where you can say something that fucks up the computer's brain, that it doesn't compute. And now he can't even fight because he's like, well, shit. And I love that. Now, what I don't really get is whether or not they knew that the kids were about to be perished when the hex started closing. Like, you all remember in that scene where they were both basically saying goodnight to the kids. I mean, I think that they knew.
Oh, 100%.
But then at the end, as we all saw in our post-credit scene, we happened to notice that the kids may or may not still be gone. As we know, I don't know where they are, but something's going on here. Well, and I don't know exactly what it is, but what the hell is going on? Somebody tell me what Wanda's doing in this scene.
Learning. She is trying to level the fuck up. Let me go ahead and study all this shit now while I got this book in front of me before this bitch get out the Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
that's how Agatha, like, you know, like used her power against the Scarlet Witch. Like, you know, she literally said to her, like, you know, your power is not your enemy. Knowledge is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
She
she
literally
showed
said
her.
that to her.
She showed her. You talked about in this book over here that you should
Yeah,
probably
she
read one
literally,
day.
yeah, she literally, exactly, Patrice. She literally showed her and told her, like, you know, like, power is not your weakness, knowledge is. You know what I'm saying? And like, she had the book, and like, you know, she was reading from it, and like, you know, she saw also the book in her lair. You know, when she originally trapped her, and you know, like that when they got stuck in the basement, she took the kids. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of like, you know, telltale signs for that, and like, you know, that's why I was like, hell yeah, when I saw those credits, because I was like, learn, bitch. And also remember, she showed her in the book. She said that she is even more powerful than the wizard.
Right. Oh,
did you hear that? Who is the fucking wizard?
Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Thank you. I literally was having this argument with my fiance the other day. I was like, who's stronger, Doctor Strange or Wanda? He's like, are you serious right now? Doctor Strange. I was like, that's where you're wrong, son.
Well, here's the thing. Well, I mean, I would say that the only thing that is different, I don't want to say the only thing. First of all, Doctor Strange is still learning about himself. I mean, if we're going with the current timeline, Doctor Strange kind of like fell into his powers, and him and Wong and old boy black. Why can't I remember my own people's name? I forget Leroy's name. But they were the ones that were schooling him, and then he had just enough power to kind of fight off Thanos and them. But the difference is, like, Wanda is able to, as we learn, I think one of the biggest things that we've learned as of this point is basically Wanda is the shit because she can manifest solid matter out of nothing, right? Like she can make shit out of complete, like they say that matter can either be created nor destroyed. Well, Wanda's like, fuck that. I'm gonna create kids. I'm gonna create my fake husband vibrator, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make a whole town out of it. And that's what happens. But I don't think that Doctor Strange has that capability, which makes Wanda have that over her. But Doctor Strange has access to other universes.
He has access to the mystic arts and a full bevy of knowledge because he's like at the temples and all of that where the knowledge is kept. I had a little bit of a different analysis of what happened at the end of the post-credit scene with Wanda and why you hear the boys' voices. I think because she has the Darkhold,
Agatha.
the book. No, not Agatha. Wanda.
Oh.
Wanda has the Darkhold, and when you see her as the Scarlet Witch and she's doing all of that, looking through the book, I think what she's actually doing is she's looking through alternate universes or alternate multiverses or whatever you want to call it. And I think she's looking for her boys in one of those realities. I think that she believes that the boys are still somehow alive in another reality. And I think when you see her with like these different little red pings and you know, like that look like little,
you look like worlds, you're right?
Yeah, I think that she's like, if you look at her, she's like literally zoned in right here. Like you see those pings up like that are appearing all over. I think those all represent different realities or different universes. And I think she's listening to like when she hears the boy's voice and then you hear her, like you see her snap in like that. I think it's because she located them. And like at that point, she's going to wherever they're at. Now, I don't know where that's at. I have no idea. But maybe that's how it ties in to Doctor Strange, and she somehow is you know, traveling through universes and everything like that. And that's how, you know, that's Doctor Strange's thing, is he's got to, you know, make sure that these universes are, you know, up to par or whatever.
Tyrone,
yes, sir.
What you think about what Bad Ty says?
No, I agree with a lot of it. I think I think part of it is with Agatha saying for sure that Scarlet Witch's power surpasses that of the Sorcerer Supreme. I don't think that's a Wanda versus Strange reference. I think that's a Scarlet Witch versus Sorcerer Supreme, which both entities are like older than either of these people. So I think we can safely say that her power is greater at the moment because of where she is and who she is. I agree with Ty that this is most likely a tie-in to the multiverse and the multiverse of madness. I think we were all kind of we all thought we were dealing with multiverses throughout the show, and we thought, at one point we thought, oh, Pietro was from another multiverse, or we thought, this person was from another multiverse and that person. And the whole time we were just in this one universe, which it was a fun reveal, but you're like, damn, you got me good. But I think that this is, like Ty said, the tie-in that they were talking about when they said WandaVision will tie into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. So and that's where, and like Ty saying, that's where those kids are going to come back into play, because. I was actually surprised that Marvel did it. Like they were just like, see you later, kids. But I do think we'll see them again. But yeah, when they closed the door on those kids after saying goodbye, I was like, damn, they actually did this. Right. I thought they were gonna like Disney, they were out of it, but they were like, nope, bye kids. Fuck them kids.
I mean, if I may, I think that was their way of doing it, right? Because if we know from the comics, then Agatha was the one who ultimately killed the kids.
Right.
But the reason why was because she was like, yo, bitch, this shit is not real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, snap out of it. Like, they don't exist. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that Disney might have been like, hold on, we don't want to freak out kids. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, calm down.
We still Disney over here. Like,
yeah. Even though I will admit, it was pretty dope to see Disney take that chance when they gave us the depiction of her burning at the stake and did actually show us the witches dying, right? So, which I thought was actually kind of gruesome. They like showing her sucking the powers, but we didn't know at the time. We were also learning that was one of her superpowers. She's kind of got that rogue-esque type of I take your power when I'm exposed to it type of thing. Like Patrice, I don't know if you peeped it or not, but one of the dope things about when Agatha was exposing what Wanda didn't know is that Wanda did pay attention to what she was saying. Yeah. And she put the rules around the whole Vex. I mean, the whole Hex, right? So, like, you dumb bitch. Like, you out of nowhere.
Show me how to do this. That's cool.
Not realizing I'm the Scarlet Witch. Like, you know who the fuck I am. And you going to on the shit, right? Like, so I don't know if you peeped that or not, man, but I'm interested in your analysis on it.
Yeah.
I did. I was kind of surprised that they didn't go in the direction of like the comments with Agatha and her relationship. Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping she'd get like a mentor-ish type figure for a little bit so she could learn. But it was kind of cool to see her take that information and apply it flawlessly. And it kind of just added to her character. Like, I'm not like y'all bitches. I don't really need to study. I could watch you in 2 fight scenes and do what you do, period. So then it was like, okay, we look at it, and I think what's interesting is out of everyone we know, Power, she obviously is the one that doesn't have as much knowledge. But the fact that she even took the book after that, and even if she was looking through the universe, she kind of apply herself. She know that she has like these boss-ass powers, and she can do more. So I was very impressed. At first, I thought she was trying to kill herself, and I was like, no, what are you doing?
Yo, Wanda's that chick who you can't stand in class, who only shows up for the test. Yeah, and aces that bitch, and you're like, "Fuck you!" You know what I'm saying? Like, I just
not only that, she go to sleep after the test.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
And then next, she got 100.
Yeah, and she always got all of the best grades. She finishes first, right? And you just sitting there struggling. You know what I'm saying? You trying to creep over and look over the side. And
I'm about to say, I'm trying to cheat. I'm looking at her paper. She's doing that. There is no more struggling in that class. I'm like, yo, Wanda, what's up?
Yo,
I agree.
I need y'all help figuring something out though, because I am hella complexed about something that did happen in this show. So I'm gonna throw this to everybody. Please explain to me what exactly is going on with our boy Pietro. We found out that he's Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph.
All right, we know that he's Ralph, but is he Agatha's roommate?
No.
Is he a random? Is he some random dude from Westview?
No.
Like, what's really going on? What's really going on?
I got this. All right. Okay. So if you guys know from the comic book, Agatha has a son. Do you know who her son is?
Nicholas Scratch.
Nicholas Scratch. Where's Nicholas Scratch from? Sabrina.
I didn't know there was going to be a pop quiz.
Nicholas Scratch is from the season's Sabrina.
Sabrina.
Remember y'all were talking about that? I just, I literally
that's
decided to
Nick.
watch
That's
it.
Nick. Oh, that's Nick.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we never
I didn't
know
know
Nick's
that.
mom. Nick's mom died. Nick's parents died.
Oh,
Whoa.
I didn't know that.
So
I'm
I know,
confused.
mind blown. Did I just mind fuck all you guys right now? So
Yeah,
you guys
'cause
remember, Agatha doesn't have her son, so
But she
that
had
is why Pietro. She took. You know, what was that kid's name? Something Boner.
Ralph Boner.
Ralph.
Yeah,
Ralph. That's why she took him under, you know, that spell, because you know he'd be the same age as Nicholas Scratch.
But like, what about the rabbit though? I thought that was her son. Like, I don't know.
No. That was just like Agatha likes
Like a
to,
familiar?
you know, she likes to make things appear as they are not.
Well, I have a different theory actually. I think that same guy, just because the name sounds so made up, is the guy that was in witness protection that they were initially looking for when they came to the town. Remember when they initially came to town and the guy said we had a guy in witness protection and we haven't heard from him.
That was the whole reason we got involved.
I think that might be who this Ralph guy is. His name was Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner.
Like yo, that's sounds so made up. And I really do think that he was the guy that they had in witness protection, and that's you know that makes. I mean, I'm not saying that what you're saying.
But that was a headshot though, like an actor's headshot.
Yeah, that was like an actor's headshot.
No lie, like the picture of like that showed him. It was the actor's headshot. So
yeah,
I mean, I see where you're coming from with that, but I don't know.
I didn't see the picture. I didn't even know that they had
well,
a picture.
Well, the picture with his name on it, like it's literally a headshot with his name on it. That's literally when you're acting. That's literally how you cast yourself. Is you have to have a headshot with like your name on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so that was an actor's headshot. Like I peeped that. So I don't know.
So,
maybe you're right, but I don't know.
I was gonna say, so what you're saying is it's more likely that that's going to tie directly into Sabrina the Teenage Witch than it is a FBI.
So are you saying I'm going to see Sabrina in the multiverse? Like, what exactly is going on? Like, I'm a little. I mean,
y'all just left that in the dust. I'm still on that.
That's just what, like, no lie. Like I was like doing some research, and then you guys talked about it like on our first like couple episodes. You know, we were like, oh, what are you guys watching? Blah blah blah. And like I don't remember who it was, but someone was like, yeah, I've been watching Sabrina. It's not that bad. I was like, huh, Sabrina. I'll watch it, and I watched it, and I was like,
it's actually pretty
damn,
good.
this thing is kind of like it's like morbidly connected somehow to fucking WandaVision, bro. And literally right after that show like got done, the season finale, WandaVision fucking started, and I started watching. And I was like, Agatha Harkness is Nicholas Scratch. Nicholas Scratch doesn't have any parents. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I don't know if it'll connect, but I connected those two things.
Ty, bad Ty. We both watched Sabrina, okay, but I'm having a difficult time putting Sabrina the Teenage Witch in the MCU.
I mean, she's a witch. He's a witch.
I get the collab. I get where it comes together. I definitely get the connection.
I could see a dope spinoff. Like I could see the dope spinoff with Agatha. Yeah. Like but I don't see the connection with that.
Dude, okay, what if mindfuck? What if? Okay, because remember, she trapped Agatha in her little house in her world, right? She turned her back and told her she was trapping her there. What if later on, after the multiverse, after Loki, after all that shit, he comes back and tries to save his mom because he realizes she's not dead.
Well, they do have that. They do have that Marvel show coming. What if? Isn't it called What If?
There is a show called What If.
So there you go. Like maybe Marvel seems to watch our show a lot as it stands. So maybe they'll pick it up after seeing this episode.
Yeah. So I watched them come back with the original Sabrina with Clarissa Explains It All to just tie in the whole multiverse of Sabrinas. But I don't know, man. That's all. That now. I love that Yas is making this connection, but let's not forget Yas also said Hayward was Ultron, so we don't know.
Listen, okay, you guys got to remember though, Ultron and Jarvis make Vision.
Yeah, yes, it's true. This is true. And I would encourage anybody who's if you watch the show, one thing that that Disney Plus does, I think, a little better than other shows is at the very end. When I know y'all watch the credits all the way to the end, just like I do. And at the very end, they will tie in whatever movie or show you can watch afterwards to kind of help you get caught up on what context this is in. And one show that they have is this show called Legends. If you watch all the way to the end, Legends actually breaks down the origin of Wanda, all that she's been through, her growing up, her having her brother with her going through the terrorist phase, and then going through the Avenger phase, and then it shows her and Vision kind of falling in love, and how Vision is yearning to have more understanding, and Wanda needs a void to be within her life. So I think that there's some room there. I don't know if they're going to end up, on Netflix with Sabrina, but I do think that there is a witch connection, and I think that them opening up this world for witches is definitely something that I could see. I'm here for it. Like, I'm now more fascinated with witches because witches is normally, I mean, well, that's Genie, you know what I'm saying? But,
right.
I mean, well, Genie's a whole witch too.
You got the wrong kind of magic, but it's okay.
But another question. All right. So the other end scene that I could not put on here because I couldn't find it, frankly, was the one where we saw our future superhero Monica link up with the Skrull in the movie theater, and they looked at the sky. They looked up and said, "Hey, you're needed up there." And then Monica looks up and she smiles, and then end scene. What Tyrone is going on in this scene? And who is she referring to? Is it Marvel? Is it Captain Marvel? Who is it that sent the Skrull?
In my opinion, because as we know from Spider-Man: Far From Home, that Nick Fury is currently up there with the Skrull, chilling out.
I'm really just about to say that.
And we know that Nick Fury and Maria and Monica Rambeau both have had contact and have kind of a standing relationship with Nick Fury. So I think that it was Fury who sent the Skrull down to get with Monica so she can come up and hopefully this will lead into. Obviously we know it will lead into Captain Marvel 2, but maybe it'll even lead into the Secret Wars show that Nick Fury has coming up. And I can't wait to see how that develops because that's a fun storyline. That's a real fun storyline.
So you think she was personally sent by Nick to watch over her, or
to recruit her almost, to actually get her and say, because she was like, "Hey, let's go. We're going to space," so. Yeah, so I think that is just a full-on recruitment for whatever mission Nick Fury has in mind. Just kind of like he did, at the end of Iron Man. Shut up talking about I got the Avengers Initiative. Here we go. We got a secret invasion coming up.
Right. And can we talk about the comfortability of Monica when old girl turned into the I know she saw. I know she saw Skrulls when she was a kid.
Yeah.
Her house.
That was like when she was a kid, but old girl just changed, and Monica didn't skip a beat. It was.
She was kind of chill though when they came to her house as a kid though too. She was like, "Mom."
Yeah, and she made
any other kid would have been screaming and running the fuck out of there, and just would have been gone. And she was just like, "Mom," and then she looked at her mom, and her mom saw that that person was not her. It was just one of those Skrulls, you know what I'm saying, that she's talking to. So her mom was more freaked out than Monica actually really was.
Well, and in Captain Marvel, at the end of Captain Marvel, there are actually some Skrull children that Monica actually has some interaction with. So she may very well know this particular individual from from back in they might go way back to the early days.
I was about to say that. I don't know if you peeped that, Patrice. But I peeped that do you remember, not this episode, but I think last episode where they bucked up on each other, where Monica and Jimmy Woo and Darcy finally bucked up on after they were kicked out. They ended up going back to the site, and that was the first person that she ran into. She was like, "Hey, what's up?"
That was she had called her to come up and help. So it was we already got that rapport. That relationship already existed. For me, when they saw each other again, it seemed like it was like we already grew up together. Like,
Right.
we're always around. We had this relationship. When you need something, I can come through. And it actually came out in handy because, you know, she can look like she's a military from another thing. And
Right.
I can cover that up. So.
Yeah, but the question is, does the rest of Sword know who she is? Because it seems like they didn't.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, because even when she explained her, she was like, "Oh, I have a government contractor friend that could come and do this, that, and the thing." Like it was one of those things where she still covered like her backstory. Like she didn't tell you about it.
They also were like going to theater, you know what I'm saying? Like in the theater, like, you know, in a like they're all outside, you know what I'm saying? And like she's like, yeah, you're wanted in the theater, like come straight to him, like, you know, to Monica, and they were like, you're wanted, go in the theater. So
yeah,
I don't know, I feel like that was all planned. You know what I'm saying? Like the person probably who told Monica knew that was one of their people.
Yeah,
most likely there are like Skrull agents or spies around more often than we realize, and I think that's going to be a reveal that happens more often throughout the upcoming shows and movies.
Yeah, Secret War, definitely.
Yeah, as they start to ramp up the bigger and bigger storylines, we're going to start to see, a Skrull pop up here, a Skrull pop up there, and you're going to start to hear about infiltrations happening, and there's a bigger war, and this isn't the fight that we really need to start preparing for, and that's when it's going to start to get real fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Same.
I have a question for the panel, if you don't mind, Vince. Now there was a conversation that Jimmy Woo had on the telephone where he was talking to some guy named Cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know who Cliff is, or any idea or any speculations as far as
from Quantico?
From Quantico, yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. Cliff from Quantico. Well, yeah, man, I have zero idea. Does anybody have any guesses? I'm stumped.
Yeah, the fact that he did say that name, it did stand out as something that might be more important than what happened in just that moment. But I don't know of, nothing's ringing a bell. I might have to go look that one up and see if that's like some kind of deep cut that they put in there. But nothing's ringing bells.
Yeah. I mean, I think you touched on something with that, Ty. Not just the fact that we are like, who the fuck is Cliff? But also that there's so many unanswered questions at the end of this episode, right? Like, we don't know whether or not the kids are still alive or if they're just in another universe. Right. We don't know whether or not Vision is out there fucking up shit. like we just unleashed an artificial freaking weapon, an AI weapon into the world with no restrictions and nobody to answer to. You know what I'm saying? And now basically Vision gave him his soul. You know what I'm saying?
He gave him understanding. Understanding.
Yeah,
understanding. So he now understands who and what he is. That's what that was the awakening. Like once he touched him, and then the next thing he said after after his eyes did all of that stuff, he said, "I am Vision. I am Vision." So when he said, "I am Vision," then it was like boom. You know what I'm saying? Now he went and did whatever he did after that. I don't know what I am Vision means, but.
Well, that's another question. I mean, because if your Vision, right, and your objective up until this point was to destroy the Vision, and then at the end of that, back and forth, you learn you are the Vision. Now you're like, yo, well, do I destroy myself? Or do I destroy the people that created me? Am I a foe? Am I a friend? You don't even know. So that's a whole listen, look, let's go ahead and go into predictions right now, and then we can move on to something else real quick. Let's get into predictions. What is it that we think is going to happen next? Like, there's so many different spinoffs, so many different other shows or movies that you can take from this show. You can take a Wiccan and Speed spinoff based on the kids and them growing up after they find out that they were actually created from magic. You could literally have a whole Agatha Harkness comedy show after this if you really, really wanted to. Doesn't have to be serious, but you could have a whole Agatha Harkness thing. You got Monica Rambeau and whatever she's about to do, which could be either a movie, could be a whole show. We have no idea. And
sky's the limit.
And the one thing that I think nobody really picked up on, I don't know, I want to say nobody, but the one thing I think that may have gone unnoticed is, if you recall, we were told, there's not going to be any WandaVision 2, or at least it's not in the works. But if you watched all the way through, you may have also noticed that they said, but Wanda will return.
Mhm.
Very cryptic, very cryptic.
Yep.
Doesn't necessarily mean WandaVision. You see that? It doesn't say WandaVision will return.
Yeah.
All right. It says Wanda. And we already knew that. We knew she was going to show up in either a movie or something. We just don't know in what form. And we were teased about Doctor Strange, who never showed up. But we know that there was a reason why they kept showing us this image, because we know that these two worlds are tied in. So, Patrice, I'm curious about you and what you think would be the next step in this whole process. Do you think that there's going to be any spinoffs based on this show specifically, or what do you think the next step is?
Oh, for sure. This was all a setup for what's about to come next. So I definitely think there's going to be either a movie, a spinoff, some kind of elaboration on some of these storylines that they've created at this point. I definitely feel like Wanda's going to tap more into her powers. Agatha, I really hope they come back to that and Agatha becomes like the mentor that does help her kind of learn. But then you already know with the certain comics that she decides that, they decide she's too powerful and try to kill her, and then she decides to end the mutants. So I think they're definitely probably going to go that route in some kind of direction, because she's too powerful. So it's like either they're going to be afraid of her, or she's gonna continue to be mentally unstable, and that's going to become a problem. But I think her and Agatha definitely are going to be up to some things moving forward, and I'm really excited to see what they do with White Vision. Like that right there was cool. He just left and nobody said nothing. Like,
right,
you out in the world now, and we ain't even acknowledging the fact that you exist. So it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Tyrone, I clearly see them bringing this. I don't know if we're gonna see Wanda on Sabrina, but I definitely think that there's gonna be some crossover. What say you, my friend?
Yeah, I agree. I think there will be some crossover. I see in the future a buddy comedy about a struggling actor who might be a witness protection and a person under a spell, and maybe it's called something like Boner and the Witch, and it's just like, we might be opening up a whole new universe. Oh
my God, you did not.
No. Yeah, I just pitched a show to Disney, and maybe they'll hit me up, and maybe they won't. But
maybe Vivid Entertainment too. So it might be a co-production.
Now, one thing I am looking forward to seeing, I'm looking forward to seeing the consequences of Wanda took an entire town hostage. Like, that's what law enforcement is going to see. Like, that's what the FBI sees. That's what everybody sees. Wanda took a whole town hostage. You got a whole town who was just traumatized by everything that has happened, and they didn't forget. You know what I mean? Wanda had to bounce because it was about to get crazy, and so we're still going to have to deal with those consequences. They mentioned the Sokovia Accords, so most likely Wanda is setting up to become either some sort of fugitive or some sort of, there will be a moment where she has to reckon with what she did. And I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. I think that's going to be a good storyline to follow.
Yes.
They need to get Hayward. Is anything gonna happen to Hayward? Is what I want to know. Like, you the catalyst to all this shit.
Yeah, he went to jail. Like, last we saw of him, he was in cuffs and heading to jail. If those were just regular FBI agents, which
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they could have been Skrull. We never know.
Right.
We don't know how infiltrated we are at this moment. So there's a lot of possibility in the future, but like, I think some of the certain stuff that we're dealing with, obviously her kids, the dark hold, her reaching into another reality to possibly get those kids, and of course, what I see is a Scarlet Witch becoming a villain. Like, I see her becoming a problem for somebody like Doctor Strange. And and maybe that's when we see the return of Vision. Maybe it will take Vision, this new version of Vision, to bring Wanda back and kind of release her from the Scarlet Witch and all that power.
Yes, what you think?
Good see that.
I would just like to throw, a little mind twister out for everybody. I want to know why the fuck Darcy didn't hang around.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, everybody that went to the Hex, their DNA was altered, right? So I want to know why the fuck did Darcy just literally, she got in a great punchline, bounce. And they literally said to Darcy just didn't want to hang around for the interrogation.
She said debriefs are for the weak.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yep. That feels like something contractual. That feels like I didn't get signed for 5 episodes, less than something else. But that is an interesting question. I'm also wondering, why did Hayward go to jail? Like, I mean, I know that sounds that's a real weird question.
Kids.
Two kids, bro.
He created a whole weapon. He recreated a weapon that could destroy everything.
But he wasn't the only one.
Jimmy had all the proof on him too. He took his phone.
Jimmy had the proof. He had the phone,
bro.
Yeah. He already made the call.
What did he do that he was not authorized to do? You know what I'm saying?
The recreation of Vision was not authorized.
He was not supposed to come back. Vision, they remember in the Sokovia Accords, Vision was not to come back because he did not want to be used as a weapon. It was in that agreement. And he was not supposed to come back.
Yeah, it violated his living will and it violated the Sokovia Accords.
But no, Sokovia Accords. But who says anything about that being like against the law of the United States?
He violated him at his free will to turn him into a weapon. That's why that was like the whole point.
Can we just talk about the fact that this weapon is just freely out there now that could just destroy the whole planet potentially, and he just made this thing like.
So here's my predictions. You asked for him, so here's my predictions. Remember, right before Vision, the two Visions had this, this ship of Theseus revelation. All right, it cuts back to Hayward before he, goes and shoots the kids, and they're trying to connect with him. You know what I'm saying? Through I guess his phone, right? Like they're back, it shows them all back in the tent. Like Hayward before he goes and shoots the kids, and they're like, can you get a signal on him? And they're saying, no, he's got too much there's too much interference because he's in battle right now. You know what I'm saying? So like we don't know. Like yes, Vision did bring him back, but he's still being controlled. He still has that technology inside him to be controlled. So back to my Ultron theory. Thank you very much. Hey, you knew this was coming. Knew this was coming. You never know, man. He might turn into Ultron because he is Jarvis Ultron. I done told you this, okay? So never know, okay? If he doesn't end up saving Wanda and coming back, you know what I'm saying? He could turn into Ultron and just start messing shit up, and then that can really turn her over the edge because she'll have all these, you know what I'm saying? All these like these feelings will come back of her brother dying, of Vision dying, because it's like her life is literally rewritten. You know what I'm saying? So those are my predictions that yes, Wanda is going to turn.
Yeah, and then you catch up with on Netflix. You catch up with the next season of Sabrina when Ultron is going after Sabrina.
Wait, let me get there.
No, you got it all wrong, Ty. You got it all wrong. Salem the cat is ultimately Ultron. The whole time it's been Salem. Ultron has been Salem. Like this is like, oh my god.
No, let me finish. Okay,
we're gonna let you finish, but
after all this goes down, and Wanda gets all crazy again, that's when I feel like that she's gonna link up back with Agatha, and then Agatha's gonna be like, well, my son, because you gotta remember, Nick Scratch and Sabrina, he be practicing the dark arts and conjuring, don't he?
Oh god.
Yeah. I think that Yaz is just whatever shows Yaz is watching, they're all gonna tie into the MCU. Like next week is gonna be like, oh, you know what? That guy in Bridgerton is Ultron.
I would be here for it. I would be so good for that. He could be Ultron any day.
Yeah, it's like in Vikings, they had the same boom operator as they did in Sabrina. Ultron.
They're gonna be like, yo, Ultron is coming to America too, right? Coming to America too, right?
Was he the ex-wife that barks like a dog?
Yeah. No, well, it makes sense because if you think about it, you could tie the two together. Because in Coming to America, Wesley Snipes, who actually is Blade, is in the MCU, and that's in the Spider-Man comic. And that,
did you see them dance moves though? Like, every time he came into like the picture,
we're definitely going to talk about Coming to America. Don't go too far. That's going to be the last thing on our docket. But I want to throw this out. Ty, could you close us out with predictions? And also, anybody watching, please drop your comments with predictions. Drop your predictions in the comments. Let us know what you think, and we'll post them in the group chat later as well, and we'll discuss. What's up, Ty? What you think is going to be the predictions? What's next in the world of WandaVision now that we have passed the season finale, homeboy?
Oh man, so much, so many things. Well, I mean, I've been saying that pretty much this whole season that Wanda's been like a tie-in to the MCU, being able to use all those other studios that they didn't have access to before. So, as far as Vision, I do think we will see Vision sooner than later. Probably in Armor Wars. Once because of the tie-in with Tony and the Stark Industries and everything like that. So it is likely that we'll probably see him in Armor Wars, or maybe even we see him in Falcon and Winter Soldier, just because everything is tied in. So I'm really excited to see where Marvel goes, because this was like really an experiment that went right for them, because this is like the first time we've actually seen people from the actual big screen come back to television, and then do it on television, and then go back to big screen. Like this is something that's unheard of. So the transition has been pretty smooth for them. COVID definitely didn't hurt them, because we're all tuned in to what Marvel's got going on, and right now they're putting out good stuff. Me again, I'm a little disappointed, but I do think they left a lot of room for improvement, and a lot of room for us to see a lot of different things happen. We lost you.
Oh.
No, I'm here. My bad. I had it on mute because I had to call. But my bad. I if I can say, I share a little bit of your disappointment in this, and let me just make sure you understand what I'm saying. I was expecting more from the series finale, and I think some of that is self-inflicted, because we put so much out there as to what it could potentially be, that we expected like these big reveals, the March 4th reveal, you know what I'm saying? So it didn't happen, unfortunately, just like the Q stuff didn't happen. And we shouldn't be upset with them for not necessarily, succumbing to our made up theories about Mephisto and about Ultron and about Sabrina, about Grave, about everything, you know what I'm saying? And but some of the stuff is warranted, because we were teased unnecessarily. Like, I mean, I get the fact that these two universes are going to collide, but stop showing us the motherfucker in the goddamn in the trailers if he's not going to make any appearance whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
maybe that was the appearance. Maybe that was the appearance, bro.
Oh, the trailers. That's how we do it now. We put the trailers,
bro. Maybe that was the appearance. Like,
they did. In the end credit scene, when Wanda was looking through the Darkhold, though, they did play Doctor Strange's theme. Like, it was back there in the music. So a little more unnecessary teasing for you, Vince. Just so you know.
Yeah. So now the orchestrator of the soundtrack made an appearance, but not Doctor Strange himself.
Because I don't know if you know this, but Ultron did the music for WandaVision. So.
and you know what, Vince? One thing that I didn't mention that I think is really important that we talk about real quick is the fact that now the MCU is now tackling horror. Like Blade was the last horror film that the MCU actually brought into, into their nest. Right now, the director of Doctor Strange, I believe, is a horror director. And the fact that we have Blade, we have Morbius, we have Dracula, we have all of these different supernatural I don't know if you want to say they're not mutants, monsters. We have monsters now in the MCU. That's where we're at. We're with monsters now. So
I can see that, because they did kind of add that element of darkness in the last episode. I mean, I feel like throughout WandaVision you have those moments, but that I was screaming like over here. Oh my god, her face will be crushed off. The kids will be shot. Oh, it was just like the level of darkness they put into the episode. Even when you watch the witches come back and they're like all skeletony and
like dope.
Yeah, it was so dope and it was so gruesome. And even the hair changes. Okay, that was probably like not even as important, but I did notice that when Agatha was killing him, the wig was laid. When Agatha was down and out, the wig was crazy. But it was the whole element of darkness for me. Like I really enjoyed seeing them add that into it. It fit perfectly.
Yeah, and like
imagine if he really would have crushed her head, like how we would have just been like, oh my god, this was the best episode ever.
They can't crush her head to death. That's not it.
Yeah.
Yes, what were you about to say, Yes?
No, like you're right, Patrice. I agree with you. Like with them showing, when Agatha first, started taking a little bit of her powers, you know what I'm saying? Like her hand did start getting completely dark.
Her hands turning black.
Yes, that shit was disgusting. I was like, ew, what the hell is going on in her hands right now? Yes.
Can we shout out the fact that freaking Scarlet Witch hands turning black? Like they're literally decaying and dying, and she's not in no pain.
Right.
Like I'm just going to keep doing my shit.
Like doing her little things, just keep throwing shit at this woman. Yeah.
She's like, hand falling off.
Bitch. Kill me. Yeah.
You can kill me if you want. I'm still gonna be here. My spirit's gonna thrive in me. Like
I think that was an illusion the whole time though, because she was like when one of the kids was like, "Are you okay?" She was like, "I'm fine," and then she just like went up and started fighting Agatha. Because she needed her to think the whole time that she was winning, so she could cast her runes and take her power.
Oh
yeah, she was thinking steps ahead. Yeah, she was good.
Damn, yo, so big up, man. We didn't even get into Wiccan and Speed and how they showed their ass as well this episode. I think that Disney, I mean, if you're listening, which hopefully you're not, because you probably would cancel the episode. But Disney, yo, Wiccan and Speed, you might have a good little Saturday morning show for the kids right there with them as kids, like just their little experience. I could see like Wiccan and Speed, the next show, starting off with them waking up, not knowing where they are, and then just being kids, learning how to use their powers. I could see that as well. There's so much potential, and I think that that's what WandaVision has done for us. They not just gave us something to watch during the pandemic and gave us something to binge during us having to wait for the Black Widow movie and for all of the other movies. It's introduced so many different potential characters and so many different potential shows and movies that now it's like, damn, like we started WandaVision like, yo, it could be this, it could be that, but now we're ending like, yo, it could be this, it could be that, it could be that. and that I think is the genius of WandaVision. And to kind of tap off of something that Ty was saying, I think they're getting into horror, but I think that more they're getting into monsters. And with monsters, you have not just your who was the guy you just said, Dracula, but if you look at DC already was putting out Swamp Thing. I think they were looking at stuff like Creature from the Black Lagoon, stuff like that. So if we could real quick, and by the way, we're not done with WandaVision, y'all. WandaVision will be forever in our hearts.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Even though this was a series finale, we more than likely, as a result of them not being on next week, are going to start venturing into a little bit of this Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But for right now, yes, Wanda, man, bravo. Before we get into the next subject, actually, could I just give y'all to give me on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the dopest, 1 being trash, what is your overall rating for WandaVision season 1? We'll just call it. I'm gonna start. Let's start with Ty Leem, because I got a feeling it's gonna be. We'll go up.
I would give it a 8.5.
Okay. Whoa.
There you go.
Wow. That's surprising.
Whoa.
All that shade he threw, we gave it 8.5.
The whole palm tree, but
I mean, hey, you don't gotta like. I don't think it was perfect, but I give him credit where credit is due. I'm not.
I'm surprised that you give it so high. What about you, Yas?
I'm gonna give that shit an over 10 out of 10. That shit got 100 in my book. I was impressed from start to finish. Like it was captivating. It kept me on my toes. It had all the things. It had, like the heartfelt moments. It had like the epic, fight scenes in it. It had, just things for kids. It had all the things in it. It had parents engaged in it, like it made you question your thought process on what you thought was going to happen. Like, I feel like it gave me all the things that I wanted. So I was more than impressed with Marvel. Like they exceeded my expectations on their first black and white to come into like, you know, into colors. So I love that shit. I thought it was awesome.
Patrice.
I would give it also an 8.5.
Okay.
Y'all already know, like the beginning, first couple episodes, that I was not a fan of the length and the way that they were kind of introducing that, because it just took away from me. But once we got to episode 4 and beyond, it was like we took off. So I was very appreciative of the level of growth, of the little gems that they dropped here and there, them tapping into mental simulation with the ship of Theseus and metaphysics, identity metaphysics. Even with her and her powers, tapping into the idea that her powers were amplified by the Vision's Mind Stone and that living within her. So like I love that aspect of it. And then them giving us the action, even though it wasn't to Ty's expectations, the action at the end, and just the little things. Like I said, the wigs, the outfit changes, the hands blackening, the witches coming back to life. Like they really like left no stone unturned for detail, and that was everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
I agree.
Tyrone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 10 out of 10, and just because that's otherwise I'd be betraying my nature. No, but for as a standalone TV show, you know, just thinking about it outside of the Marvel context and everything, some of the stuff that they did, you've never seen it before, and they just broke so much ground, and they were so creative with the way that they did this show. All the actors were so good. Like you know, Elizabeth Olsen, like damn, if she's not in the conversation for Emmys and stuff, then you know, I don't know who is. You know, Agatha, same with Catherine Hahn. Like, I mean, we got so much good stuff from this show, and it just made us even hungrier for more great Marvel content. Can't wait.
Oh, so 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for me.
And we got 2 8.5s. We got 100 out of 10. Out of Yas.
It's a good average.
I'm gonna give it 8.
An 8.
I'm gonna give it an 8. And because you lose 2 points for them first 2 bullshit ass episodes, I don't give a fuck what they say, yo. Those 2 episodes were unnecessary. I'm sorry. It was.
They dropped a lot of history, like in the eggshell, so you gotta appreciate that.
What was the first 2 episodes about? Yeah. Tell me what happened in the first 2 episodes. Do you remember the plots? No, you don't.
We're in bed together. We're in separate beds because that's what they did then. I get that.
You gotta remember the toaster. That shit was hilarious. You know, like the toaster commercial. You know, like come on, the
commercials were great. I will give you that. The little commercials were great. Nexus.
That shit was so funny.
I like Ty over there, just listening to the hate for those first 2 episodes. Like, good, yes.
Well, look. But I, as a fan of creativity, I can definitely, even though I wasn't a fan of how long we had to wait for the meat and potatoes of the show to kind of rear its head, I can respect the thought process and patterns that go into the thought of we have to cleanse the palates of Marvel fans, because we know what they expect. They want the first episode, they're gonna want explosions, powers. They're gonna want, you know what I'm saying, universe. You know, I mean, we're taking them from freaking Ragnarok to I Love Lucy. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta get them out of that mind space to accept this other mind space. But we got them though. They gonna see we got them. But for that whole roller coaster ride that I think was a little bit overplayed, because I think that they made their point after the first episode. I'm gonna take 2 points away, but still 8 out of 10 for me. Ultimately, an overall net positive, especially when you factor in the 100 out of 10 from just from a numerical algebraic standpoint. But fair enough.
So technically, with the overall averages, because mine was so high, it still got a 10 out of 10. So we're good.
Boner in the Witch. We got a Boner in the Witch shout out over here.
Ooh, yeah, he said sex slave. Okay. I mean, he did have a choker on though. He did have a choker on.
What's going on? Let's talk about it.
No, let's not. Let's not talk about it. What about TJ? We see you in the comments, TJ. Big time TJ was in here. TJ, what up, baby? And we're all looking forward to joining him on the soapbox
as soon as we can. He actually mentioned having Ty and Ty on. I was like, that sounds like a buddy cop movie, man. Y'all might like
the Tale of Two Ties.
the multiverse. Yeah.
Sign me up for 5 movies and a TV show. I'm down right now. I'm signing contracts. Let's do this.
That's it, bro.
We got to skate. We got to get this going because unfortunately, Patrice is going to have to leave us pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken, with your punk ass.
Listen, you said an hour and a half. So
Yeah, blah 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 blah. Because she's got so much to do on a Saturday morning. Yeah,
I really do, but you know,
That's a great paper.
Busy. No, I didn't do that. I told them I'm not doing that this weekend. That is going to be
Yes.
on Wednesday for the last late people who didn't do my stuff 5 weeks ago. I'm free. Ain't no Miss P this weekend. So they did try, but could you just do right now? No, mentally I'm tapped out.
We're good.
Yes.
Well, before you go, I really want to get your take since you have to leave pretty soon. Hopefully, we can drag that time out a little bit as much as we can, but we'll see what happens. Real quick, to kind of go from where Ty was talking about with the monsters and all that other stuff. That just means that Marvel is about to tap into new things, which leads us to DC, who is also starting to think about tapping into new things. And I originally, of course, you know how I feel when it comes to this freaking DC universe and how fucking they just can't seem to get right. You know what I'm saying? They like can't get right from life. They just can't get right. But I honestly feel like they may have tapped into something finally. Now, we've already talked about how they want to recreate every version of Superman. There's a Superman every other day, every other freaking year. They come up with a new way to recreate the same old Superman. However, I must say that the idea of them introducing a black Superman, who we all know in the comics, all right, is actually, not actually black Superman. I'm sure you all have done your research and that black Superman is another member of the Krypton universe. I don't know if you all read his comics or not, but this young man is actually known as Val-Zod in the comics. Val-Zod, who ends up being basically Superman's adopted brother, so to speak, is now going to be potentially a leader in the DC universe. I am here for this plot line. This I can get behind, but let me tell you what's the most exciting thing for me. In all honesty, I'm like, all right, Black Superman, yeah, I yawn, just like Yas tried to just cover up right now. You know what I'm saying? But
Damn, caught me out.
my bad. All that calling out y'all was doing with me, my internet. You deserve that. Anyway,
we had to though.
Yeah, you did. It was necessary. But here's why I'm really excited. It's less because of Black Superman and more because of the production involving not just Ta-Nehisi Coates, but also, oh shoot, I didn't upload it. I didn't have time. Also, J.J. Abrams is attached to this potential upcoming project. Now, I don't know if you all are familiar with Ta-Nehisi Coates, but this is a real deal, legit writer. My man right here is not only dope on the writing because he actually did do a couple of Black Panther segments and he did help with some of the Avengers segments, but this dude is woke. Like, this is like my man comes with the culture. You understand what I'm saying? If we're talking Ryan Coogler-esque type of vision, this man right here, I trust. I trust him way more than I trust DC when it comes down to putting together a plot line that is palatable for us as people of color. So I am now on board with the concept of having Black Superman not only introduced, but taking the forefront, leading in the DC universe, becoming a Miles Morales-esque type character in the leadership roles of the Justice League and so on and so forth. The only thing that I'm not convinced of is who it is that will be playing this Superman. Now, we've already got calls from folks who are already Michael B.
Yes.
All right. Some people are saying Michael Ealy. All right.
No.
I don't want my Superman too pretty. All right.
You gotta look like you could fight somebody. Like he don't look like he could take a punch.
That's R&B Superman right
You
there.
don't think he can take a punch?
No, he look like you cut his face and he gonna cry.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's Superman saying, "Can we talk for a minute?" Yeah, that's
Yes.
Isn't he in that movie 35 and Chicken? He's sensitive.
And he be crying and shit. We can't have a Superman that be crying and shit.
But the concept of Black Superman, it really is starting to make me feel like DC is finally listening. I don't know. And if they start tapping into the more people of color in their leadership roles, I think that they may actually finally come into the Marvel level of cinematography. What say you, Patrice? Because I know you sitting there looking at the clock. I see you.
Much time. I agree. I feel like honestly, they already kind of started that when they introduced Deadshot, in my opinion, and then some other background characters. So in my mind, this is like a natural progression. I love it. I'm excited for it. I think they have so many directions they can go with it, and then we have so many great actors of color right now that could step into that role and really excite people. So right. I'm excited for the vision. I think that DC gets a bad rep, and that they actually do have some pretty great productions and ideas. So to take this idea, to redo this idea, I think is going to be a step in a different direction, especially considering all the people who are remade. Like, we haven't seen nothing like this yet. So it's going to definitely be a little bit fresher.
Well, hold on. You said something. DC gets a bad rap?
Yes.
Care to elaborate?
I require elaboration.
Okay. Everyone says that DC movies are trash compared to Marvel. Everybody feels like they always drop the ball when it comes to storylines and actors, and they just get a bad rap.
But is any of that not true?
I don't agree.
Where's the lie?
I don't agree.
What's hard about DC? Tell me, like, but what's good? And I know you got to go, but what's up, man?
I feel like they have some productions that they did a great job with. I feel like that they're, at least as far as the stories they're telling, they're ones that are more of interest. I feel like Marvel kind of recreates the same wheel sometimes, even though it can be good. They're just now starting to branch into newer stuff, in my opinion. So
Marvel read the same.
How many times are we gonna redo like Aquaman and Superman and? Like, I want to do. Oh shoot! I thought that was Marvel. Okay.
Wow.
It's time to go, right, Patrice?
You know what? That's my time. It's so early.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I think we just learned a lot about Patrice.
No, don't do me. Don't cancel.
I'm just kidding. Well, Patrice is only with us till 10:30 today. So Patrice, thank you so much for joining us. Any words on the way out, Miss Patrice?
I feel like hopefully we can fight for DC next week. I'm gonna come back prepared, and I'm gonna have a really good argument. I'm gonna have an opening argument for y'all, and we're gonna really show y'all why we are actually gonna come through with this Black Superman. It's gonna be lit. So
I agree. Right. I agree. All right, and make sure you check out Spider-Man on the DC app. This is coming up. That's a terrible joke. It didn't land either. All right. Yeah, we'll let you go, Patrice. Thank you. Please tune in, and hopefully next time we'll get you to maybe chop out a 2-hour block for us. Since we,
I got y'all next time. I got y'all. Say less.
All right. Thanks so much, Patrice.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye, Patrice.
Bye, Patrice.
All right, man. It sucks to lose her because she gives us the proportionality we need to have the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Here we are. So now, Yas, as you may have heard before, there's going to be a Black Superman. I always feel like DC's trying to play catch up. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they're finally doing it possibly in the right way. I personally think that DC's best movies are Batman movies, The Man of Steel, and Shazam. I think Shazam was a really good movie. And I honestly think that what we have to look forward to next in that same realm is the Black Adam movie. So they're getting the message. I think they're getting the message. They're starting to jump on this whole people of color train. But I think that it's a little too late. But with the concept of a Black Superman, what this is going to do is going to stir up all kind of emotions, because you're gonna get the people that think that Santa Claus is white out here like, yo, no, but Superman is black. I mean, Superman is white. It's like Superman is a made-up character. Okay, he's from the planet Krypton, which doesn't exist. All right, so you can't tell me who he is. But me and Ty were having a conversation, and I'd like for those of y'all on the bottom of the screen to chime in. I think that this new Superman should have some swag about him.
Oh yeah, of course. He's a color.
Right, exactly. Now, Ty, we had a conversation, and Ty is of the belief that Superman, black or not, should have the same exact origin story.
No.
So Kal-El should have the same origin story. What say you?
Okay, Ty, if they have the same origin story, is it going to be like Spider-Man with Uncle Ben and you know what I'm saying, like
right.
and the aunt, like you can't know, you know what I'm saying? Miles Morales, like he had his parents, so like it's so. Why are you trying to portray us to be like them? Like what's the point? We different, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that if they were to do an origin story with him, like he could be raised by his grandparents, or you know what I'm saying, or something of that sort, to change it up a little bit, like we were saying. Well, like Patrice was trying to say that they keep doing the same thing over and over again. If they're trying to break out of their horrible, just their horrible background of having movies that we get excited for and the big letdown, then their way of doing it is going to be innovative. It's going to be different, and it's going to capture our attention, like in a ways that Marvel captures our attention. But just they're trying to do different things with the whole Black Adam coming out soon, and I'm actually I'm really interested in seeing what Black Adam has to offer, and I'm praying that not only The Rock's presence, but his cadence carries this movie, because if not, then DC is not looking very good, and it's not going to give me very high hopes for Black Superman. But as always, I still will tune in, and I'll still be supportive, and I'll try and stick to DC, because as you said, they do make some good movies, like their Batman Begins movie, their certain movies they do kill it, like the Man of Steel movie and Shazam, but a lot of movies they just, I don't know, they drop the ball, and it's not like it's a small thing, it's something that we're like, damn, DC again what the fuck. How many times you gotta learn the same thing?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like with DC, like certain things they start off okay, in the middle they lose us, and then in the end they try to pick it back up, and it's just like, why did you even try? So I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with Black Superman, but I don't agree with Ty that they should have the same origin story. You know what I'm saying? Like us the minorities, we're all people, we're all humans, but we all go through different situations. So I feel like if they're going to portray a Black Superman, have him raised by his grandparents or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of his actual parents or his adopted parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, because technically, what is your grandparents? That's like your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like no matter what, grandma's still mom, but like she's really mom in that instance. So I don't think they should do the whole adopted family, he just dropped into earth type stuff. We don't know where he's from, because I would like to see a more origin story of like Superman and his parents. We didn't really get that whole thing. We got Kal-El was just like kind of like I don't know, he wasn't what I expected him to. His dad wasn't expected like their whole meeting, it wasn't how I was picturing, the whole like Krypton and how, like the Earth was and everything. We didn't really get to see too much backstory on that, and like him living there with his parents. So I feel like if they touch more on like, Earth on life on Krypton, and how being Black Superman kind of, like these certain challenges and struggles he had to become Black Superman, I think that will give us more insight and like get us more excited to like, what's to come than just copying exactly like what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously we're not having much success on repeating history. So I don't know. I feel like we should switch it up a little bit.
Well, let me speak to that, because Vince kind of misrepresented what I said in the conversation. And that wasn't at all what I said. What I said was, I feel as though if they're going to have this so-called Black Superman, that he should have his own name and own origin. I don't think that you should label him Black Superman. You should create his name, or give him, if his name is going to, like, say his name is is Jordan Reed or whatever the case may
Right.
be. You know what I mean? Like he shouldn't be wearing the House of L emblem on his chest as Superman, because that's what that's the representation of his emblem, which is the House of that's his crest.
Right.
So the Superman is a title that was given to him by Earthlings. They called him Superman, you know, like, but he is Kal-El of Krypton. Just like Jordan Reed can be Jordan Reed of Krypton, but that doesn't mean if he's Zod, then his crest should be the House of Zod. But you know what I'm saying? But this represent what I'm saying is DC, if they're going Black Superman, I feel like it's like I feel like it's like I'm throwing the last lifeline I can throw. Like I don't know what else to do. Let's go black. Let's change our you know, Superman to be black. That's, to me, that part is the part that I have an issue with, because I'm like, no, if you want to create a black superhero that has the same powers as Superman from Krypton, cool. That makes sense to give him his own origin story and then do it the way you and Vince are talking about, where he's has a grandmother and a grandfather and all of that kind of stuff. I have no problems with that. What I have a problem with is your stuff has been doing so bad that you're just like, literally, okay, we're gonna now go with the black card. So what can we do? What can we do? Oh, let's make Superman black. Nah, man. Like in the comic books, Superman's not black. There's a dude who they have a representation named, what is his name? Calvin Ellis or something like that. And he's also the president and like the Superman or whatever, like a representation of a Superman in another multiverse, or, you know, another. And now if they're going that route, that's a little different. If you're going into the DCU multiverse now, and you're saying, okay, we have different versions of Superman, and in this realm we have a black Superman named Calvin Ellis from Krypton, and you know, everything like that, whatever the case may be, however you want to do it, cool. That's that. I'm all for it. But I just, this whole idea that they're just gonna do a black Superman movie, and you know what I'm saying, like that part is the part that I have a issue with.
No, I agree with you on that. They should definitely make him his own like entity, his own like being. You know what I'm saying? Like his own, give him his own backstory, his own stuff. I agree with you on that aspect. Then,
Tyrone, are you familiar with Val-Zod?
You're muted.
Oh, thank you. But no, I'm not familiar. No, I was over here like coughing while the screen was not on me and stuff like that. So I was like, let me not be coughing over people. But no, I'm not familiar with Val-Zod at all. My Superman reading never got past, like, once Doomsday killed Superman, I was kind of like over it a little bit. So I never got into like the newer versions of Superman and, like, you know, the younger version and Steel and all those guys. Like, I never really got into that. So this is, Val-Zod is news to me, but I like the idea of, you know, of a new origin for a new character. I mean, like, there are some things that couldn't be changed. Like, he would have to come from Krypton. And you know, so whoever, you know, maybe he came at maybe a little bit older age, maybe he came as like an early teenager and, you know, in Earth context or whatever. So maybe he got to bring some of his Krypton experience to Earth, but also, like, you know, he grew up as a black man on Earth, so he's got that experience too. You know, that could be one possibility of ways to kind of, like, you know, really, you know, embrace, instead of just like kind of pandering to black culture, like you could actually embrace and portray it respectfully. And I think there's opportunity there.
I like that.
I said that too.
Well, first of all, let's just, a couple things are present for me. First of all, to Ty, I don't think that what we're getting here is a Superman swap, where we're now taking one Superman and making him black. I think what we're getting is an additional Superman. We're getting the Peter Parker plus Miles Morales version of characters, where there's not going to be, okay, there's no such thing as Kal-El. There's only Val-Zod now. No, I don't think it's only there's only Clark Kent, and now there's, I don't know, DeAndre Wilson. I don't know, whatever you want to call his human earthly name. I think what we're going to have is an additional Superman, all right, just like there was a Supergirl, Superwoman, Superboy, Aqua Lad. Don't do that. And so I don't think that the concern for me is they have to make sure that he's represented the same way our original Superman was represented, because the original Superman has already been represented. What we're doing now, finally, with DC, is they're finally starting to tap into their lesser known characters, which is, in my opinion, what made Marvel successful. Nobody asked for an Ant-Man movie. Nobody asked for an Elektra movie. Nobody asked for a Jessica Jones TV show. Nobody asked for a Luke Cage. But we got him, and we loved the majority of them. All right, we ain't like that first Daredevil too much. All right, but that's what I think. That's what I think that this Superman is designed to do. Is to shake up the whole DC universe. The notion that, when you hear DC, first thing you're gonna think is, oh, okay, well, which character is it? Is it going to be Superman, Batman, or Aquaman? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you already know it's going to be one of the main, the basic few that you always see. The cast of characters that are overly exposed in the DC universe. But
I want to see Black Cat.
Ooh, well, Black Cat is that's a Spider-Man spinoff, right? That's from that's Felicia Hardy. Yeah. In the Spider-Man world, but we did see a Catwoman that was black. It was terrible. It got a Raspberry Award. Halle Berry, unfortunately, was trying to break some ground there, and that didn't work out the way we expected. I do think just on a
she. I mean, like, let's be clear. In Halle's defense, Michelle Pfeiffer is a hard act to follow. Michelle Pfeiffer killed it as Catwoman. Best Catwoman I've ever seen was Michelle Pfeiffer. So that is a hard act to follow. So Halle is, I'm not gonna let him get on you like that.
We still love you, Halle, but wasn't the best. Wasn't no monster ball.
No.
Yeah. Well, it definitely wasn't Swordfish, but it was decent. But I do think that, we don't have to harp on this too long, but I think that the saving grace of this whole thing, again, as I mentioned before, is if there's somebody who can bring some life into this and street cred, shall I say, it is Ta-Nehisi Coates. I don't know if you all are familiar with this dude. He's a great author, but he also writes columns. He's also in the political realm as well. So I think if there's somebody, I think that what I like about the notion that they're going to create this additional Superman for the DC universe is that if they do it the right way, it may have some success. And if you're going to go with recreating a character or any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Franchise, J.J. Abrams is the guy you go to. All right. And they have already tapped into J.J. Abrams for this movie. But the way I think they should do it is they should not bring us just basic new black Superman. No. You give us our Superman that we already know. Of course, nobody has a problem with Henry Cavill, right? He's already our Superman. And you introduce us to Val Zod. You introduce us to the notion of black Superman. You pass the torch. Notice if we're going to make comparisons, in the Enter the Spider-Verse movie, it wasn't just all about Miles Morales, right? Mm-hmm. It was Miles Morales.
All of them.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and
Peter Parker died though.
Right. That's why it was easier to grasp this notion. Not only that, but also, Miles Morales had been tearing up. His comics were selling more than any of the other comics in recent history as well. So I think that that's the way they do it. Now, Tyrone, as for you being the optimist, I know you have to see some merit in this, man. But I hope you agree with me that there is a potential, if done right, to possibly breathe life back into the DC cinematic universe.
Yeah, I think you made a good point with with them exploring lesser known characters, and I'll even tie it back to something that Ty said earlier, because he was talking about the way that our expectations impact us. Well, every time they bring one of these very secondary iconic heroes to the screen, it always is just short of people's expectations. If they start with lesser known character, maybe just build from there. Maybe just try to build something good, something great, instead of trying to reach some expectation that you might not be able to hit. And just create a good character, create somebody that people can love, somebody people can root for, and start building something from there instead of always trying to play catch up.
I feel like that's what DC does constantly, man. But they use the same characters to do so. You just saw a clip from Superman and Lois. All right. So right now we literally have 3 DC Superman in the mix. If we include this Black Superman, which includes this Superman, who was Teen Wolf's older cousin, Tyler. All right, so now we've got him in the mix, and at the same time we've got Henry Cavill, which is why DC annoys me so much, because they can't merge their universes. Like we already we got the 2 Flashes right now. You know what I'm saying? We got Aqualad in Titans. You know what I'm saying? At the same time as Aquaman. You know, and there's
I hadn't seen that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
My bad. I was gonna say I hadn't seen that clip before, and that is like based on that clip, I will not be watching that show. But like that. Like that was looking like McDowell's Superman. Like why did his outfit look like that? Like you're like they have the golden arches, we have the golden arcs. Look at that McDowell Superman.
Oh my God, that was so great.
Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead, yes.
I was gonna say, is he like the McFlurry of like the DC?
McFlurry. Well,
McFlurry, yeah, it's not the McFlurry, it's McFlurry.
Tyrone, I don't know if you've noticed, but you've upset your alter ego here. He is a big fan of Superman Lois. What say you, Ty?
I will suffer your wrath.
I've just caught the second episode of it, and it's really not that bad. Like I think I told you initially when I first saw it that his costume for me, like the costume that they have him in, is a little amateur at best. Like that whole big up top, that right there, that's terrible. That costume was terrible. But as far as like what I've been seeing, as far as the storyline and everything like that, and the acting hasn't actually been that bad. And it's really, I would say check it out before you like. I know people are, pretty much. I guess I would say I'm tired too, because I've seen so many. I've come from the Smallville days. I watched Smallville and the Lois and Clark and the. Like every different Superman you can imagine. Do I think at this point that DC can find any sense of stability? No. I feel like DC is just their own worst enemy. And they're going to continue to be their own worst enemy. This even goes back to, the statement that Yas made. I think maybe it was Patrice or it was Yas. I don't know. But it was about DC. Yeah, I think it was Patrice when she said that DC did the right thing with Deadshot in Suicide Squad. No, they didn't. Yeah. They did the fucking. They fucked that all up. You had Will Smith. You could have did a whole Deadshot movie with Will Smith and probably killed it.
Yeah,
but they didn't. Y'all decided, let's put him in this and that. Like you fucking idiots. You had a A-lister and you didn't even use them the right way. So this is why as much as I want to see DC thrive, they just won't. And it's like I see your optimism because of the writers and everything like that and the directors. But this is the thing with DC. DC will get them, they'll come in with a great script. The directors will come in and everybody will be happy. And DC will get in there and be like, yo, the director's been talking shit about you as the writer. And then the writer, they'll go to the director and be like, the writer's been talking shit about you. And then next thing we'll hear, production has been shut down because the writer and the director didn't get along on the project. Yeah, it's because you motherfuckers went in there and it caused that shit to be like that. This is the type of shit that DC has been doing for years. They have been undercutting them themselves. It's like, what the fuck? Like, dude. Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's be. I mean, that's not exclusive to DC. I mean, we know what happened with James Gunn and Guardians of the Galaxy, and there have been some mix-up in that realm as well. But The problem I have here is that DC once again is playing catch up instead of actually putting their foot ahead. But I agree with you wholeheartedly that they didn't do the Will Smith thing right. I do think that I think if I could tap into my inner Patrice, I think that what she was trying to say is that at least they were willing to kind of put Deadshot, who was also in the Arrow, all right. So he was also in the CW verse. But to make him Will Smith was the smart move. To not use him to the fullest extent of his potential was the wrong move. I mean, even to the point where in this upcoming Justice League movie, upcoming Suicide Squad 2 movie, I think they've already I don't think that Will Smith, I think that if I'm not mistaken, Idris Elba is taking over the role, or at least was in talks about taking over the role for Deadshot. When in actuality, Deadshot, if they're going to make him a Will Smith, you're right, deserves his own origin story, deserves his own theatrical release, and a lot more. And that's, I think, where DC is going to continue to slip. And until DC realizes that you don't have to overexpose all of your characters in multiple platforms, they're going to keep on losing. Marvel is winning that way. Yep. Like, look, we can take our chick from the big screen, put her on the small screen, then put it back on the big screen. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to have a Marvel small screen with WandaVision X, and then Marvel, big screen with WandaVision, A. Like that's where they win. And I feel bad because DC is always going to be in this dual universe with Marvel, in which Marvel is seen as the leader until DC starts to come up. And
I don't think they always will be either. I think they have been for a very, very long time, but I think there's up and coming organizations and different comic book cultures that will come along at some point, because DC, you can only, like, they've been fucking up and literally depending on Batman and Superman for all of these years. Okay, listen, Superman as a franchise, it has not done the numbers that it did when you had Christopher Reeves. That has been proven. Batman, we don't know. We're still the jury's still out on the next Batman. We'll see how that does. Batman has been their go-to and probably the one reason that they're still in business right now, plus their animated side. But if they continue to keep giving us these type of movies, at some point, I mean, because not even at some point, we're pretty much desensitized to their movies at this point now. You say something about a DC movie, like we know that the Zack Snyder cut is coming out. Like, right. We're not super excited. We're like, okay, we'll watch it, but it's not like it's not like a Marvel debut of something coming out. We're like, yo, I can't wait. We gotta go. It's none of that. And right. and they can't keep this type of effort up, sabotaging themselves and continue to think that you're going to stay at the top. There's going to be that up and comer that's been nipping at your tail all of this time, waiting for you to continue and stumble until they over it. And then when that happens, DC will be null and void unless they do what I said they should do, which is merge with Marvel in the first place. Like, just like stop it. Just,
hell no.
Exactly. Look, listen, man. If I get beat up 30 years, and every time for over 30-year time, and every time I fight the person, I get beat up. Eventually, I'm just be like, man, fuck it, man. Can I just be a friend?
You know what's really gonna be funny?
I'm tired of getting beat up.
What if DC and Sony link up, just like in spite of Marvel?
That would be a mistake by Sony.
Yeah. But I mean, Sony would be the only people to try and save whatever type of reputation that DC has left. You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit.
But Sony's only working out. Like these Spider-Man movies are only working out now because of Marvel.
Yeah,
except for Into the Spider-Verse.
But that's what I'm saying though. Everyone's been hating on the Spider-Man movies. Lately, they've been having not a lot of clout with them. So that's what I'm like. What if, in spite of Marvel, because Marvel obviously, they never disappoint. What if the two companies that have been they link up and they give us something that's like, holy shit, now we can compete with Marvel?
Well, I don't know because I mean, if you don't Marvel, I mean, DC has been tied in with Warner Brothers since the beginning of like their creation. Like even if you go back to the Michael Keaton Batmans, you'll see it starts off with Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers and Marvel, I mean, and DC have been joint at the hip since the creation of DC cinematic universe. So I doubt that they have any collaboration with Sony, especially seeing how much of a puss-ass bitch Sony be acting about the Marvel characters. Like, you know how hard it was for them to get out of that deal so they could finally put Spider-Man into the multiverse? So they could even freaking put Spider-Man in Marvel Studios, which doesn't make sense. It's like, you understand that your character is a Marvel character, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, why should we have to? But this is what happens. We start talking about DC, and then we start talking about Marvel. Like DC, this is why you have to like come up
merge. You might as well merge.
No, fuck no, bro. They can't merge. No. Here's what DC has to be worried about, in my opinion. It's not just Marvel. All right, DC now has to also be concerned about Dark Horse. All right, because Umbrella Academy kicks ass.
Yes. Oh hell yeah, it does.
It kicks ass. Black Sands. Yes. All right, which is starting to be shopped around for independent for crowdsourcing. Image. And I get the sense that if Black Sands gets the millions upon millions of dollars for its budget, it's going to shit on you like fuck.
It is.
You are not ready. You are not ready for blacks. I don't look. Tyrone, Yas, Google.
I got to do some research. Yeah, that's
okay. I'll check it out.
Listen. If you like anime, okay, and you like black people,
go on.
And you like listening. On screen, Black Sands is where you want to go. There's so many other different up and coming comic book universes that could easily. Image. Oh, don't even talk about it.
With Spawn.
Spawn is coming, and Spawn, and look at what Spawn did brilliantly. What's their lead character? Person of color. God damn it. Yep. See, they knew from the get. Not even, look, excuse me.
And he's a badass.
Yeah, okay, they won.
Let me specify. So this is where DC and I saw this as a kid. I mean, like literally like a 5-year-old kid. I'm looking at the cover of the DC comics, and I'm looking at the cover of the Marvel comics, and I'm already wondering like what's different here. The Marvel comics are more relatable for me. You know what I'm saying? You take Spider-Man. I've already done this whole synopsis many times. A kid from Queens who stays in a neighborhood where he's get picked on, as opposed to some super powerful being who comes from another planet who can own everybody, but wears overalls and helps his mom and dad, feed the pigs in the morning. I just don't think that. I think that DC should lean heavily into this new production with Ta-Nehisi Coates. I think that they should finally, frankly, take a back seat. I think that they should start to push their main characters to the background, push their new characters to the forefront. And I think that's where you're going to see them start to take a little bit more of a prominent role in the cinematic universe, especially if they go the Michael B. Jordan route. Let's just be real. You may or may not like him. You may or may not like Michael B. Jordan. You may have problems with some of his comments and some of his antics, but the fact of the matter is Michael B. Jordan is everything right now in terms of black superhero potential. I may not want to admit it. I either see him or maybe Denzel Washington's son, somebody like that who is up and coming, who has the potential to take his lead role and make it everything it needs to be. I think that should be the case. I can even see what's Denzel Washington's son's name? I forget his name. David Washington. I think David Washington would make a great Green Lantern. All right, if they're going to go that route with the Black Green Lantern, I think that DC, they would make a lot more headway if they would lean more into their, again, I don't want to say lesser known, but less focused, the characters that they focus on the least. And I don't think that there's much we have to really add to that, because there's it's such a shit show. DC. We've been talking about it like we're not even like we're forcing this time. Like it's so forced. We're like, yeah, all right, yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. DC is really like they're really shooting themselves in the foot and like really putting them like they're digging their own grave.
Yeah, well, this
their own grave, and I don't know if the success will be what you say it'll be, but But again, Michael B. Jordan would be the candidate if you're going to go that route with a new Superman. He would be the best candidate to go with just because of the type of love that he gets with the ladies and all, and the fact that he's such a polarizing individual when everybody knows who he is. So
yeah. One thing I did want to tap into that I didn't actually plan on talking about, but Ty, me and you talked about it briefly. Was I don't even know. We shouldn't even talk about it. Should we talk about it?
I don't know what we talked about briefly. So,
all right. Well, there was a historical figure that we were like really, really interested in bringing to the big screen ourselves.
No. Why would you bring that up? No.
Okay. All right. Never mind. Anyway, like I was saying, Jarrell. I mean, Valzai. Oh man, damn! I want to talk about that so bad, but we'll talk about it later.
Wait on that.
Well, let's just say this. We were going to talk about a character that I don't even say a character, a real life historical figure that is being underrepresented, is currently being shopping in Hollywood. We're not going to talk about it right now, but there is a historical figure that we all know very well. If you haven't seen him on the screen yet, you're missing out. And I'm talking about none other than Hakeem Jaffers. Yes, for those of y'all who did not know, the Eddie Murphy also loved return to big screen finally happened a night ago, where we were reintroduced to none other than Mr. Hakeem Jaffers. Now, I don't know, Yas, you're a little younger. There used to be this movie called Coming to America back in the day. And it had all these really cool characters, like the guy who sang "Let Your Soul Glow," and we were introduced to the concept of
sexual chocolate. Yes, I've heard of sexual chocolate.
You're sexual chocolate. Did everybody? Did y'all get a chance to watch the movie? Did everybody see the Coming to America reboot?
Yes.
Of course.
I unfortunately did not. It's on my list for this weekend. So I'll smile and listen and have a good time listening to y'all. Yeah, don't worry about me.
Oh, damn, man. All right. Well, I guess we can avoid spoiling it. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Y'all go for it. I can even go. I can go backstage and let y'all talk about it, because I don't want to deny your viewers of this pleasure. I mean,
Well, I don't think we have to give everything away. I think we can do a lighthearted, less revealing discussion about it. So I will say, when they killed Eddie Murphy at the end, I was just like, oh my God. Nah, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. But yeah, man, I did like this version. I actually was expecting to hate it, and maybe that's why I did not hate it, because I was almost convinced, Yas, that this movie was not going to live up to its potential. We were originally expecting this movie to be one of the things that helped us kind of get out of the pandemic, because we know we wanted to see it in the theater, because you and I are theater goers, unlike people who like to watch everything in the comfort of their own living room.
On our 4K big screen TV with surround sound.
Oh, I didn't even know you had to put the 4K on the TV.
Hey, man. Change the way I look at things.
Oh my God, that was so great. Sorry, Ty, I had to roast your ass real quick.
Yeah. But yo, Ty, what's your assessment, man? I mean, the movie's getting mixed reviews. The movie's getting the Coming to America movie. Oh shit! I didn't take the sound off. Oh, can't play that. My bad. Yo, the movie's getting mixed reviews, bro. I'm wondering, what's your take, man? Do you have an overall negative or positive review of the movie?
If I'm being honest, it wasn't good. But my blackness wants me to say, yo, man, like, we did it. but ultimately, man, look, I posed a question to my brother-in-law yesterday and my sister, and it was, and I think I should probably pose it to this panel as well, because then that would kind of answer a lot of people's questions. Can you tell me a successful all-black comedy that was like a hit in the box office?
Medea.
Oh yeah. Oh, BM, just like that. Medea, anything.
Medea anything, legit. Medea anything. Anything that has, like Tyler Perry in that shit. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Do you want me to keep going?
Medea goes to jail.
Yeah, because although I'm not saying people didn't like the movies, I don't think they were hits in the box office. They were good movies. They were funny, but I'm talking about from a profitability standpoint. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like did it make us feel good? That black comedies make us feel good.
Okay. Well, I mean,
success wise.
Well, I mean, listen, if you're looking for a hangover type success, that's very difficult to come about, in my opinion, for any comedy. What I will challenge you to tell me what has been the most successful recent comedy period in the theatrical sense. We don't really see them do that well in the movies anymore. Typically, our superhero movies, Marvel, DC, that's leading up. It's honestly making I think the comedy world less relevant in a box office sense. You're fine as long as you don't.
There were some
no lie, the last movie that was comedic and also it was a superhero movie was the last Thor movie. No lie, like that movie like made hits in the fucking box office, and that was a comedic movie. You know what I'm saying? Like from start to finish.
Well, I was just trying to display the fact that when it comes to black comedies, when it comes to all black comedies, where our success doesn't lie in the box office. It lies in the feeling that it gives us, when we watch it. And for this reason and that reason alone, I would say that this one didn't give me the same feel as Coming to America. It brought back all of the same people. It brought back pretty much the same characters, with the addition of some notable stars. It just didn't translate. Like the first hour of it, I contemplated sleep or just turning it off.
Wow.
But then I kind of like, again, my blackness was like, nah, nigga, you gonna watch this. And, so I stayed and I watched it, and there were parts that were there was like one or two parts that was touching, and then it was like one or two parts that was funny. But
damn, hold on.
But the one thing that I will say after everything that I just said, the one positive that I will say about this movie, an ode to the beauty of blackness when it comes to the new up and coming young women that are in this movie. His daughters, all three of them. There's a real little one, and there's a middle one, and then there's the oldest. The oldest, oh my God, she's gorgeous. She looks like she could play in anything Black Panther, anything. Like, yo, she got that whole when I saw her, I just felt that vibe. Like, oh my gosh, if it don't work out with Shuri, you know what I'm saying?
You
might want to cast her.
I see that.
And then the middle sister, I have no idea who she is. She looks familiar. She's absolutely gorgeous. And the littlest sister too. They like it was just one of those things where I said, okay, even though this movie wasn't all of that, I can see a future for these people. Like, he's given these people an opportunity to touch the big screen and be seen. And now there's an opportunity for some of my little sisters to come on through. You know what I'm saying? So I did see that. So
I agree. I honestly expected to hate the movie, and maybe that's why I didn't hate it, because my expectations were so low that if it just didn't suck, it was well. And I actually think it didn't suck. I think that there were some clear there was some shit that I was like, oh, come on, give me a break. Like, are you serious? Like, who wrote this? You know, how did y'all approve this? You know, and there's some things that if Tyrone had watched it, you know, that I would discuss. But we'll wait till next week and maybe chop it up. But there's some things that were unexpected that were actually delightful. Like I liked Leslie Jones. I think Leslie Jones frankly stole the show in my opinion.
I loved her. She would have me die, and I was like, "Yo, Leslie! Oh,
She's hilarious, man."
Leslie, I think stole the show. I think Leslie, frankly, breathed new life into this movie. Her storyline is iffy.
Then you took away from the main character, so he didn't give you any vibes, huh? Like you just you didn't like his character at all.
Like son?
You talking about the son?
He was the main character.
I thought the son was. You know, go ahead, Yas. Go ahead.
I don't know. I felt like the son was kind of cheesy. Like to be honest with you, like I get you know, like the whole like you know he had to be semi like Eddie Murphy. You know what I'm saying with his cheekiness.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like they definitely could have casted somebody better for that role. Only he just didn't give me like the Prince Akeem from this, you know, from Brooklyn kind of vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I felt like I'm from New York City, so I don't feel like he depicted, you know what I'm saying, like half king that lives in New York. You know, I felt like he needed more swag, you know, like his complete, I don't know, like he just was, I feel like he was bitch made, not to hate on the guy or anything like that, but I feel like they definitely didn't do his character justice. They should have done a little better with that.
Well, he should have been. So you saying they should have cast a B-boy? They should have a B-boy up there. He should have came up there like yo.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying people from the streets have a certain kind of presence to them, and it's a confidence presence to them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I don't know. I feel like he just didn't like. I don't know. I don't know. I just felt like I could flick him and he would just be like, "Ow!" You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like he was just real weak. Like, okay, I'm not trying to ruin shit, but the bath scene when he ran to mom, I was like, he did get mom's approval, and mom's down here doing you know what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like just those certain things. Like I'm a New Yorker. Like sorry, we are hard to the core. I don't need him to be street and thug, but I just need him to have some goddamn like bro. Like push your chest out a little bit, like be a fucking man. You know what I'm saying? Like
I can't believe you saying that. The very first scene of the thing was when he went into the interview and the dude was playing him out and he stood up for himself. So
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I liked that part, but then him like turning in. That's what I'm saying. Like he lost that shit in the middle of him turning into a king, bro. Like what the fuck? Like he was like, oh, like. As you were, like, come on, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he didn't know. I mean, if you've never been a king or a queen, and then you're a king or a queen, you don't know how the hell you're supposed to act.
Hi, you're telling me if I would take your ass out from your situation and told you your daddy was the fucking king, your ass would be like, as you were. Like, absolutely. No, you'd have been like, you good,
I would be posh as a motherfucker. I would be like, yo, I told me and Vinny had this talk before. If I ever was a billionaire, I'll be a snooty billionaire. I definitely would be a snooty. I'm not gonna act like I wouldn't. I'll be a snooty ass billionaire. I'll be like, oh, they brought mustard. Oh, no Grey Poupon.
But that's what I'm saying though.
I'll be like, he
wasn't like that. He was timid through the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, oh, my braid, you know, just cut it off. She's like, that's just fake. Like he was like, it's fake. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of things where I was just like, he's a bitch. Why did they pick the guy? Like he started off okay. He didn't end very, very well. Like, you know, but it was, I'm not going to lie though. I did physically enjoy the movie. I enjoyed it. Like I'm with you, Vince. I thought I was like, not going to like it as much. You know, I was like, man, please give me high hopes for this. Cause I literally was just on the soapbox with TJ talking about, I got high hopes. Like, you know, you don't bash it till you watch that shit. And it did do, like, it had some good parts in it, no lie. And I agree. Leslie held that shit the fuck down. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like she literally had me so engaged because of how hilarious I was just ready to watch her, like, and how she interacted with everybody in Africa, and just like it was great. I'm not gonna lie. Like she played her role for being a New Yorker from the streets going into the palace. That's why I wanted the son to be like, not like, mom, is it okay?
Right.
Like, bitch, go get it back.
Well, yes. In defense of the writing, I think that they wanted to show a character arc with the young man, which means he has to start one way and then end another. And I think that they did that fairly well. I think that I'm right between you and Ty, where I don't want him to be Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? I don't want. I'm out here.
What I'm saying, I'm saying like he can at least have some Michael B. Jordan vibes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Be confident in yourself. Like, I know who you are, bro. Don't be like, Mom, is it okay that they're gonna save me?
Yeah, but this is Hakeem.
That's oh my God.
But yes, this is Hakeem's son. Like, he doesn't have Michael B. Jordan vibes. Like, he's Hakeem. They
don't want him to have.
Wesley got Hakeem. Wesley's like Jordan, dog. Like, hello, you ain't got none of your moms in you. Like, it showed a little bit of her in the beginning when he was at the interview, and he was like, you know what, Brad? You, Brad. You know what I'm saying? But then, like, he lost that shit. He became a little bitch. I was just like, I don't know. It just. That was the only part of the movie that really just like struck me a little bit as like they could have done this a little better, but other than that, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the other thing too was like, man, my man Wesley Snipes, bro. Like, why did they have to make him so cheesy though? Like, I feel like
I thought he did a good job actually.
He did a good job. He did a great job, but I could have done without all the dancing every time I saw him like coming into the screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did they have him always like he's looking like, he's gyrating.
Comedy. They was trying to be funny.
I love that part. I love that.
I was just like, I don't know. Wesley will always be Blade to me, so he will always, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, why are they doing him like that? Like, damn, he aged really good. They all age really good. Why are they making him dance? Like,
they had a part where the nigga said something about it's gonna be blood, and then they all came up. He was like, not that type of blood.
I'm saying that, like, right?
I was like, hold up.
You have to remember, we're dealing with post-prison Wesley Snipes, who has to be like which is completely stupid, because we can sit there and talk about the inequalities that exist that cause him to do time and others not to. Yeah. We'll save that for another show. Yeah. But for this instance, I think that Wesley is trying to make sure, because let's be real, there is no doubt in anybody's mind who's ever seen any movie with Wesley Snipes that Wesley Snipes is a legit badass. Probably one of the Black community's most notorious badasses. Mm-hmm. Second in place, Michael Jai White, and then maybe even a few more down that
I think
list.
Michael might be first. Michael legit.
Absolutely not
legit. No,
not
like, I mean, like in a real world.
Wesley too.
No.
This should be the latest version.
I don't think what you get what I'm saying. Michael Jai is still actively training.
But he's not actively acting. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not talking about the acting. I'm just talking about on the physical side of it. That part. I'm not talking about acting. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know Michael Jai is a B-list actor at best.
It's so fun to watch Tyrone join the comment section only. Like, he's literally like a spectator now. It's like, this is what it looks like to watch somebody watch the show. Unfortunately, he didn't watch the show. But you did see the first.
That's right.
You did see
Hold on. That is right. Yeah. That's a good point. That's me right now.
You did see the first Coming to America, right?
Oh, of course. More times than I can count. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So some of your favorite characters. I don't want
to. All of your favorite characters.
Yeah. I do think that it was kind of weird. Frankly, I thought that Simi looked a little weird in this movie, and at first,
man, say it with your chest, man. He looked sick.
Yeah, he looked a little. I mean, I didn't know what was. I mean, I know they're older. Don't get me wrong. This is a 30-year.
You know what it was, Vinny? It is the lack. It was. You know what made him look funny? The lack thereof of a mustache.
You think that's what it was?
Yeah, because look, the old Simi had the goatee with the mustache. Yep. This time they have no facial hair. Remember that?
Okay,
So
okay,
that makes anybody look weird.
Yeah.
Not even that. But like, no lie, he looked like the only character that did not age. Like, what the fuck?
Look. See right there, even right there, you can see he has no facial hair.
It.
Facial hair. That's that. Yeah. Oh wow, you might be right. Yeah.
That makes it. I'm telling you, when you have none, like there's one thing that not have no chin hair, but to have no mustache either, that look weird. Now you look like Chester the Molester. You start taking it off the chin, like, oh, what's going on?
And honestly, I had to make sure I took a step back and say, wait a minute, keep in mind this is a comedy. They're not going for the Academy Award, because my first complaint was like, yo, they sound like they ain't even trying to have an African accent. Like they just,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like what? At least in the first one, they made an effort. You know what I'm saying? There was an overwhelming, almost overexposure of cameos in this. I mean, I don't even think they paid anybody to do these cameos. I think folks just wanted to jump onto the set.
Every part of it, yeah,
man. There was so many cameos, but I get it. I think this was shot at Tyler Perry Studios as well. I mean, no shit. I think that it actually was, and you can see them using CGI to their advantage now that we have it. I think that one of the dopest parts about it is that it's predictable but not predictable, right? Like, it's like, all right, I see where this is going. Oh, it didn't go that way. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, it did go that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's cool. One of the things that you'll notice, Tyrone, when you watch it, is that I think that they do a good job of tying in the first one, using the same messages, using some of the same themes, but not completely recreating the same. Like, it wasn't like, if you watch Home Alone and then you watch Home Alone 2, you can tell like where they're like, okay, this is the part where we do this because this worked in the first movie, and this is the part where we do this because it worked in the first. Like, there's plenty of that, but they didn't rely simply on that. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was pretty brilliant too. But yeah, the comedy was there. There were some things that I can't wait to say out loud, Tyrone, that you're just like why who wrote that?
Can I just ask why Wesley was wearing a kilt?
Well, I mean, this is an African tradition. I don't know. Shoot, man. Have you ever been?
Do they wear kilts in Africa? That's Scottish.
Listen, and it's just so you know, African warlords, which he was, tend to wear a lot of different things. Like shit that doesn't go together. They like this dude has on in the thing he has on right there a military thing, for a military captain thing. This dude probably ain't been in no type of military at all. The one that he created with his boys and took over shit. So like, and this is consistent with most African warlords in most movies. Whenever you see them, they tend to have on like, some fatigues or some type of, army military stuff that has nothing to do with their country. You know, like they had like, you know what I mean? So
he literally had like a Scottish war like kilt on, and like with the little like medallions and everything, the sash going across. I was like, what the hell is he wearing? And
have you ever seen that movie? Have you ever seen that movie? Yes, The Last Man in Scotland.
The Last King of Scotland.
Last King of Scotland.
I probably have like a long time ago.
Last King of Scotland is based in an African country as well, dealing with an African warlord, and you have this Scottish guy who like almost befriends him, gets close to him. You know what I'm saying? Only to find out that this nigga's fucking like he's really what they said he was. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That now, if you talk about gangster vibes, Idi Amin was nasty, like cruel, not even celebrate type gangster. Like, man, just to name a few, Forrest Whitaker starred in that movie, and your girl from Scandal, Kerry Washington,
and your boy from X-Men as Xavier. He was the guy from
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy was in it too, and he did it, and he killed that.
Is he the kill guy, Scottish guy?
Huh? No, he's not.
Is he the Scottish guy?
I don't think he is. I don't think he plays the Scottish guy.
I was gonna say, because like, is he Irish in that comment?
Yes, he is. He is Scottish.
Is he Scottish? But he's not the guy that Idi Amin is trying to model himself after. Like, he was actually trying to model himself after somebody that I think he never met, somebody he read about. I don't remember. It's been a while since I saw that movie, but it's definitely worth the watch. But yes, you're right in bringing that up, that he did wear Scottish garb, which did include, I think, a kilt at one point. And this is a legit king in the continent of Africa who ruled with a nasty iron fist. Like, I mean,
yeah. So Yaz would not call him a bitch. He would.
No, I'd be like,
Yo, but ultimately, I had a net positive reaction to the Coming to America movie, which I wasn't expecting. I was honestly expecting to be like, oh my God, like, and it's a little risque, but I did watch it with my daughter, and there were just a few scenes where you're like, hey, but overall,
shout out to Tiana Taylor. Shout out to Tiana Taylor.
Tiana Taylor killed that shit.
For looking like a whole meal, bro. Like, oh my God. Yo, Tyrone, that's the one part of the thing. I really want you to appreciate the moments that she comes out, because those are some memorable. She took me from Coming to America 1 when old girl came in the room and was like, he was like, whatever you want. Yo, because she was beautiful.
Yeah,
Tiana just like made me forget totally about ooh wee, man, whoa.
And they do a flashback too to the dog barking, old princess and everything. And still, like, looking at her next to you, you're like, God damn, how did y'all get a finer Black woman to be like, and she killed that shit. The outfit with the oh my God, when she was at the party, oh my God, I was like, where do I buy this?
I'm all ready to go right now. I'm like, let me just go ahead and this thing
she killed that shit, no lie.
I'm glad y'all can only see from my chest up.
I just want to shout out to Lisa for, paying homage and just like realizing that, Vince be hating on me because I'm young and shit and I know.
Oh my God. I'm not hating. I just assume that certain things you don't know because they happened before you were born. That's all, it's no big deal. We know you are honorary, you do your thing. But yeah, man, I ultimately, I'm going to say that this movie doesn't suck. All right. Yeah. As I'm disappointed because I do think that it would have done better in the movie theaters. But I'm biased. I think most movies would do better in the movie theaters. But in terms of comedies, as far as Ty was talking, I do think it has been a while since we have had a legitimate Black comedy. There was a whole Black comedy void. They tried with Next Day Air and a couple other joints. Since Friday and the Fridays sequels, we haven't really seen like legitimate dope on-screen comedies, even on TV, dare I say. I mean, Netflix, I haven't seen any Black comedies on Netflix. Right. I haven't been seeing a lot of stuff like that. I mean, Donald Faison, where are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like our guy,
I've seen them, but they're just not.
I feel like probably the best Black comedy out right now is Atlanta, and that's sort of almost like a dark comedy. So it's not like it's not like going back and watching like House Party or like or Harlem Nights or something like that. Like it's a totally different brand, but quality wise, it's one of the best out there.
Oh, Atlanta. Oh, yeah. Us being like artsy and like creative minded, we can appreciate the crazy like synopsises that Donald Glover puts us in.
Yep.
So we can definitely respect that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would describe it as a comedy. It feels more like a drama with comedy in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of it's focused on his relationship with his lovely young lady.
Yeah.
And I think that's for the better. But ultimately, I'm going to say that this movie, I'm sorry, TJ made me laugh. He would have. TJ say TJ should have been here today, but I don't want to overexpose him here. But yeah, I agree with you, TJ. Man, I would have went to the theater, and I remember I listened to Howard Stern, even though I shouldn't, because I know he says racist stuff and has done some racist things. But he interviews a lot of celebrities, and one person we haven't talked about too much is Tracy Morgan's role in this film. I thought he was pretty funny. He had a smaller role, but Rodney Perry. I mean, the comics, the Black Comics comic, like Rodney Perry is cool as hell, and you can reach out, call Rodney Perry. He'll answer your phone right now. He's that cool. He's that reachable, and we saw him on there. Nav was on there, Instagram famous. If you know Nav Green, big dude. Me and him auditioned for Wild and Out together. Good, reach out and touch type of dude. But Tracy Morgan did his thing, and Tracy Morgan was talking about how in this film, he was, the uncle of so on and so forth. But this film was supposed to represent kind of what our upcoming Spider-Man is going to represent. And that was a return to normalcy, because they originally were trying to hold out and release this in the theater so that it would be like, oh, snap, everything's good. We come back. And I guess, the power of Amazon and the dollars got to them, and they didn't want to wait too long. And they ultimately ended up releasing it. I don't think it was the wrong decision. I hope they got their money's worth. I'm glad we didn't have to pay $30 to see it. You know what I'm saying? But it was decent. I'm going to recommend it. I'm going to say watch it. I'm going to say you will probably enjoy it. I'm going to say it's not going to meet your expectations if you're expecting it to be as good as the first one. Rarely sequels do. So if you use that same mentality and have that same energy that you would for any sequel, then I think that you will ultimately like the movie. Is it cringeworthy in parts? Absolutely. Yeah. Is it kind of like, oh man, that was just, now why would they even, yeah, absolutely. I mean, literally there are some scenes that I was like, I looked at my wife, I was like, why the hell would they, what I'm saying? Like that was just dumb. Like specifically, I'm not going to tell what happens, but a scene with James Earl Jones, I was like, well, why would they, what? That's dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like what the like they could have did that so much different, but it is what it is. So Eddie Murphy, his return to grace is going swimmingly. We got to give our hats and tip our hats to Eddie Murphy for, going under a rock for so many years after giving a ride to a transsexual lady and getting in trouble for it, which you shouldn't have, because you should be able to do whatever you want. You shouldn't have been shamed for that. But for him to go into a 25 year hiatus, to come out of hiding, to hit us with Dolomite, and then to hit us with this movie. I think Eddie is safe to say is definitely going to go out as one of the most entertaining comedians, movie stars, Black people, period, of our time. And I don't think that I'm even being hyperbolic when I say that, guys.
I think he deserves that praise for sure. He's like you said, with his comeback, he's beating the odds. That Dolomite movie was amazing. He should have gotten a lot more love for that.
Oh my God.
It really was.
Dolomite,
Black Dynamite vibes all over that shit. It was great. That was so fun.
And it was in it with Michael Jai White. I want to say no, he wasn't. All right, it felt like then. It felt like he could have been in it.
You know what's funny? You said about the Coming to America 2 sequel. They even said it. They even dropped a hint about how in the movie that sequels are never the same as the first thing. They did. It's actually really funny. Tyrone, you're gonna die laughing when you see that part, and then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, they did.
They did play to that. They did play to that.
You gotta love when you're smart enough to include the ludicrousness of a sequel. Right. Just kind of like how WandaVision was like kick ass.
Yep.
We get it. Well, guys, I think that's enough for this week. I did, like I said, tease the possibility of us talking about Cruella, but I don't think we really care anymore.
I don't think so.
I'm still excited for it.
Are you excited for Cruella?
Yes.
I don't even.
Oh my God. It's got two of my favorite things ever. Like Cruella DeVille. I love that deviant little dog stealing bitch. I am not gonna lie. She is something she's just something else, dude. I love I love when there's kind of a woman that's the bad guy. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have a soft spot for it just because I don't know, I just like watching them and she's the baddest.
Janelle Monáe that got out the car?
No. Was it? I didn't even think that was a Black chick. That looked like some
Black chick. That's why I was like, was that Janelle Monáe? Hold on.
Let me look at this again. Hold on. Nah, that's a white chick.
No, that's a white chick with an updo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's not Emma Stone. I'm not gonna lie, Emma Stone. I feel like she low key. We've been sleeping on Emma Stone and how great of an actor she is. She's in her time that she started on Superbad and has grown.
Absolutely.
I've just fallen in love with her as an actress. She's her growth.
Speaking of falling.
I didn't think that like she did that bad of a job in that Spider-Man movie. Like, no lie. I think
I think she did
a lot of
well.
people-
Yeah,
a lot of
Stacey.
people hate on the Amazing Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they don't like, you know, Andrew Garfield, and I get that, and I understand, like, you know, he was a tool in that, but like I feel like she did good as you know, Gwen Stacy. I think.
Dare I say, even though we're cross marketing here, dare I say that we'll probably see Gwen Stacy again.
Oh, I know. I'm excited.
Spider-Man films.
I know. I'm excited for that shit. And I really hope that they use her as Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man to be like, you know, the woman. I really do hope they do that because she's fucking amazing. And I kind of want to keep seeing her growth, man. Like she's done some great things. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
Her character does still have a prominent role in the Spider-Verse. I mean, she turns into Spider-Gwen, who ultimately is going to give us Gwenom. And I'm looking forward to this whole thing, man. But I think we got a lot to look forward to. But the only thing we don't is another episode of WandaVision, which is sad. So next week we won't have WandaVision to recap. We'll likely have some random subject matter that we'll discuss
next week. What is next week? Next week, the 18th?
Next week.
No,
today's the 6th, right? So next week,
yeah,
will be the 13th.
Next weekend.
Okay, so we'll have the Snyder cut. The Snyder cut comes out on the 18th, and then we get
and then
Falcon and Winter Soldier on the
19th.
On the 19th.
Right. So we will be discussing more than likely, not this upcoming week, but the following week, the Falcon and Wilkins. Now, I don't even know when this comes on. Is it a Thursday, Friday? Is it a Sunday? I don't even know.
It's on a Friday, I believe. It's the 19th is a Friday.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So it's going to take over the Wanda spot.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, and then right after Falcon and Winter Soldier, it looks like we're going to probably jump right into maybe Loki. I think, who stars our boy D. Russo, who we'll have to have back on to talk about his experience. There he is right there. What up, Russo?
Yep. Right.
To talk about his experience on that set. But I think that's about it this week, guys. So on the way out, man, I'm just going to ask y'all, hey, listen, is there anything that you're watching briefly, you know what I'm saying, that you could tell us since we have a show hold next week to kind of catch up on? I'll end it up, but let's start it off with Ty, because Ty. Ty's always watching something pretty cool. Ty, what you think we should watch, man, this week while we're waiting for?
Man, I got a couple, man. I got a few actually. Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer is really good action-packed drama. It's on season 2, I think episode 6 now. So we're midway through the season. But a really good show. I would definitely recommend that one. Also American Gods.
Oh yeah.
Please, if you have not had the opportunity to check out American Gods, you are really cheating yourself.
If you can get through Old Boy's hair,
if you can for season 2, because it's a little different from season 1. But yeah, American Gods is a really good show. Got a lot of historical stuff, you know, knowledge that you weren't aware of and stuff like that, especially as Black people. We don't know who, as Africans, African people,
deities and stuff.
Yeah, we don't know who our actual representation and our gods are, who we should celebrate. But you should check out American Gods, and it'll give you a little bit of insight on that. And last but not least, I am back on The Expanse, bro. So
yes.
So we definitely, if you have not watched The Expanse and you're into sci-fi, what are you doing, man?
Yes.
Man,
louder.
Come on, man.
Yeah, finally. Thank you, bro. Because me and Tyrone, we rap on Expanse behind y'all back.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So thank you, bro. Appreciate it, man. And definitely, I agree with you on American Gods. I'm still on the first couple episodes. I think that's one of them shows where I like to just let it go ahead and go through the whole season so I can binge. We're watching that. Tyrone, what you got, man? What's on your television playlist, homeboy?
Yeah, first, I want to enthusiastically support Ty and his return to Expanse. Man, I'm so excited. That show is the best sci-fi show that
It really is.
Yeah.
I love it so much. It's so good. Also, I want to give I want to encourage everybody to watch a show that's on Netflix. I mentioned it before, but it's called Sweet Home.
Yeah,
And
I watched it.
Yeah, that show is insane. It's just pure fun. It's like playing a video game. It's like watching a horror movie. It's like watching a comedy. It's everything, and it's just pure fun. It's it might not win any acting awards. It might not win any best cinematography or anything like that, but you're gonna enjoy it.
Okay, all right, cool. Yes, what's on your video playlist, Mama?
So on Netflix, I actually just got done watching the documentary on Biggie Smalls.
Oh shit!
The Notorious B.I.G. Actually, and like it goes into why he went from Biggie Smalls to Notorious B.I.G. Actually, so definitely peep that if you haven't seen that. It's very informative. It's very like eye opening too. Into the world of just like people who just come from the streets and make something out of their lives and like that kind of influence it can have on people. And like Christopher Wallace will always be remembered for his contributions to just like everybody. So he's one of my favorite rappers ever. So I had to go pay homage to the Notorious B.I.G. and watch that, and it was actually like really dope. I was sad it ended.
Oh, so, wow.
Okay. Yeah, that was a dope ass documentary I saw. Another one I saw, which was because I'm kind of into history. I'm a little nerd here, so I got to see the movie The Dig. That is also another good movie to check out. It's a little slow paced. It's about just settlers back in the day, that have just decided to like dig on their property and stuff like that. Well, this woman is finding a ship on her property, and it's a ship from like the early like it dates back before like Christ actually. So it's actually pretty cool. Like it's literally these people brought it from the ocean that was like miles, like 60 miles minimum away, and they buried it in the earth. And the king who was there paying homage to, they buried him with his stuff on his boat. So that's definitely a cool if you're into history and stuff like that, that's a really cool movie to check out. I was very intrigued by learning about that. Yeah. I'm just waiting for everything to come back on.
Hell yeah, we waiting for the next season.
Yeah, we're waiting for Raising Dion. Yes, Lisa, we have seen that. Next season. Umbrella Academy, wait for the next season. Ozarks, waiting for the next season.
The Boys season 2, that was awesome. Yeah, they're filming season 3.
Yeah, Lock and Key, waiting for next season.
Lock and Key, yes. I love. If you guys have not seen Lock and Key, please check that show out. It is family orientated. It is pretty awesome. I really, really love that show. I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait for it to come back on. Another one is The Boys. Season 2 had me like, what the fuck? I can't wait for season 3. So I'm just sitting and waiting for all the great things to come back on and just kind of like, retouching on stuff that I haven't been normally watching. So right now, often I it just literally like came out, I think yesterday or the day before, but it's Murder Amongst the Mormons. I gotta see this. Like, I gotta check it out.
That's a documentary, right?
Yes, it's a documentary, and that's like when I hop off here, that's probably when I'm gonna start binging because I gotta see what's going on with these Mormons. Oh my god! So
crazy Mormons.
Yes, you know what I mean. They're supposed to be all like loving and Jesus, and we just want to show you like what the words of God. I gotta see them murder people. So
if you like Mormon drama, Expanse has some of that too.
It does.
Expanse has Space Mormons.
It does. Space Mormons.
Okay, Space Mormons. I gotta check that shit out. I like that. Thanks, Tyrone, for that info.
It does. I'll say I have some recommendations, man. I first of all, kudos to anybody who watches The Expanse, man. That show. The reason I love The Expanse is because it gives a potential realistic view of what it would look like hundreds of years from now when we finally have conquered or at least mastered the space travel concept, which, as you see right now, we're working on as we speak. Whenever you're ready, bro.
Oh, my bad.
Nah, I'm just messing with you. But yeah, The Expanse, if you don't watch it, it basically, imagine NASA, SpaceX, and all of these different, Space Force, and they actually we've warped years into the future, and they've expanded all the way out to, say, by Saturn. and we have settlements all the way out there. The difference that it would be for folks to actually have grown up in space and to never have landed or never have been on Earth and the concepts thereof. But that's a whole other thing. My recommendation, one of them I'm going to talk about that Ty recommended to me actually, and that's with a show called The Servant. All right, this dude Ty put me onto this show called The Servant, and I was like, all right, what is this? The less you know about it, the better it is. It's a dope concept of a show. M. Night Shyamalan shows how his directing and his cinematography, his screenplay is second to none, in my opinion. We can sit and debate on whether or not he either killed or brought back to life the last Avatar franchise. I'm still one of the outliers who said that Last Airbender was damn good. I still think that was dope as fuck.
We all agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know
the next one.
And if I hope I didn't watch the cartoon or read the comics for Last Airbender, so that might be why I liked it more. And people who did watch the show didn't, because they're comparing it to the show itself. I think that there's room for the sequel right now. I think that one of the young girls has taken the forefront in the comic and in the cartoon series, and I would like to see them develop that in the movies. But M. Night Shyamalan is direction. The way, if you just watch. Look, just watch the camera angles. Watch where he puts the camera. Watch the sounds. Watch the little things he has. Like you could tell he put so much thought into each shot, and I respect that. But I'm also going to recommend. You know what? I don't even know if I want to recommend this yet. I'm just going to say I am currently watching a show, and I don't know whether I like it yet or not. It's called For All Mankind. On Apple TV. It's about the space race. I can tell you this is the first episode, so I could go ahead and spoil the first. It's basically, imagine if the United States was not the first to land on the moon, and it actually was Russia that was the first to land on the moon. And Russia didn't land on the moon just to say, hey, we landed on the moon, but it was like, so now, now we're on the moon. Now we're going to reap it for all the benefits. We're going to put together, and United States is like, yo, hold the fuck up, and it completely fucks up the morale of the United States, because they're like, yo, we're supposed to be the leaders, and you realize like how big of an impact us being the first ones to have that flag on the moon had on the United States' leadership in the world. And it also goes through like astronaut training and what it means to actually be an astronaut. And
is this what Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell?
No. That would be that I think is a morning show. The one you're talking about.
Morning show, yeah.
This has old boy who was in Suicide Squad. The guy who was in the what's that show that I watched? The Altered Carbon. The first
him.
Joel, is that his name?
I don't even know his name, to be honest. I haven't gotten that far. But I mean, we see him in a lot of stuff. He seems like
Falcon.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's. What is it? No, I don't think that's it. I don't know his name. I'm just gonna keep it real. I don't know his name. But he's in it. the guy who was the Justice. I forget what his name was. Captain something. He was like the Captain America-esque guy in Suicide Squad, and he does a decent role. I think I liked his role in Altered Carbon. I liked his role in Hannah. He was the father in the Hannah series.
Oh.
So he's pretty cool. He does a decent job. I mean, I don't know if I'm really in love with his acting capability, but I think I like his script selection. And I think it's an inside, but I'm obsessed with space, you know what I'm saying? So the show suits me, even though the first five even though let's just say, they're not in space as much as I would like to see them, I mean, The Expanse I can go to for that. But nevertheless, these are all shows that I think we should definitely watch. I just want to real quick. Oh yeah. And Raising Dion. I see Lisa mentioned that in the comments. Raising Dion is clearly it's a dope show. It ran into some backlash because it originally casted a darker skinned mother, and they replaced her with. They did the whole Uncle Phil. Yeah, they did the Will Smith's dark skin, light skin swap. And it didn't go well for him, but the show still did well. That it's produced by Michael B. Jordan, who just to bring things full circle, of course, we know is possibly looking to star as our next Superman. So just look forward to
bitch.
Yeah, he ain't no punk ass bitch. Yeah. That's what it's looking like for today. Guys, stick around, man. Let's do a little banter afterwards, maybe even a little stuff in there. I will go ahead and say goodbye. Oh, quick announcement. We will be, at least 3/4 of us. 3/4 of us will be appearing live as long as COVID doesn't have a storm and completely fuck us over now that they're opening up everything. This May the 6th at the Geek Easy over by UCF at University and 436. We will be posting the information in the group, but we will be live. Here's the caveat: 20 people maximum. All right. We think that I think the place seats about 50, but we want social distance, masks, hazmat suits. We may even require you to wear a stormtrooper mask because this is going to be a Star Wars type event. May the 4th I'm gonna talk to y'all too after this about doing a May the 4th broadcast for May the 4th be with you, and then May the 6th, as in Revenge of the 6th, is when we are looking to do a live comedy / broadcast, a comedy show / broadcast starring myself, Yas, Talim, possibly Kojo, and maybe if we put Tyrone in a bubble ball, we might be able to get him to show up via holographic image. But that's something to look forward to, guys. Real quick, I just want to say thank you so much to Tyrone for joining us as always.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks to the homie Ty for being here and putting on all of the putting all the gel in his hair and making it all nice and stuff.
Yeah,
I want to thank the homie Yas for being here as well as always. Thank you, Yas, for always providing such lighthearted and such great commentary. And as for myself, I want to thank my internet for only fucking up once. Time. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So, guys, as we always say, continue to be you. Don't be something else that you think is supposed to be. Be your authentic self. Because if you're not being yourself, who are you? You're being fake, and that's not authentic. And definitely, as we always say, and I think I'm gonna get it right this time, let that geek flag fly. Ow! I did it,
yeah. Nice job, baby.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra. I find it hard to be Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging and the uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity. Yeah, them niggas over there. Yeah, now look at what I wear.